But what if circumstance magnified one of them in size and strength, took it out of its primitive world and turned it loose and out? Then expect something that's fiercer, more cruel and deadly than anything that ever walked the earth.
When the Lord speak, it's more deep. Walk in the light, let all the dogs creep. Separate the goat from all the lost sheep. He leaves 99 and chase after one. It ain't many ways, baby, I pray through the sun. I ain't talking about the one in the sky, I'm talking about the one on the right side of the Father rose when he died. For all your sins so you can have eternal life without strife. The devil trying to learn you, yeah. As if you don't know already. Spiritual warfare, when I rock, you know I'm petty. Your brains, compared to God's, is all spaghetti. My lane, against the odds, ain't all that heavy. As long as I got the blessing of the one who created me. Bill Gates, vaccination ain't never sedated me. Pick a demon to run up, I rebuke him from A to Z. Yeah, authentics, but they not. It's Mr. Will Cater and Zadok.
When it comes to that God talk, we talk that. You wanna debate to prove the word wrong, it's all cap. Or you aggressive because you typing in all caps. Come get this lesson so we can show you it's all crap. When it comes to that God talk, we talk that. You wanna debate to prove the word wrong, it's all cap. Or you aggressive because you typing in all caps. Come get this lesson so we can show you it's all crap. Everybody acting like they've been baptized by the Holy Ghost. Satan shook cause his time is short and he know he's toast. Spent eternity in the kingdom or else we know we roast. When you hear me rap about Christ, say it's always coast. Coming to your block with the rock, so you know we post. Right on the devil's playground, so we know he's close. Seeking whom he can devour, on alert, you know we woke. And my team is never caught weaponless, so just know we tote. It's hog mobbing, standing hard with the vanguard. When you see us come and show love, don't wave a fan card. It is only by the grace of God that a man's called. Some things that come with this little fame is still so damn odd. Contend with the words of the wicked, it's a standoff. Run through offensive lines like H-backs with the handoff. Try to touch my brother in front of me, now your hands off. If you wanna keep the other one, keep your hands off. When it comes to that God talk, we talk that. You wanna debate to prove the word wrong, it's all cap. Or you aggressive because you typing in all caps. Come get this lesson so we can show you it's all crap. When it comes to that God talk, we talk that. You wanna debate to prove the word wrong, it's all cap. Or you aggressive because you typing in all caps. Come get this lesson so we can show you it's all crap. Yeah, hard mobbing, H-O-G-M-O-B, Will Cater, Zadok the God Hop MC. And everything we just said, we mean that, man. And don't get it twisted, man. You wanna talk about God's word, bring your comedics. Bring whoever you want to bring, your 5%ers or whatever. We gonna come in love, but we coming in truth, you heard?
My movie. I didn't really say that. I bust out laughing. He said, you know, we got the upper room, the upper room, the upper room. I crack out. Every time you say that, you know what I'm saying? I thought we talk about Ray, he gonna change the seat that
I got to know.
Yeah, I got to know.
That man said,
I hope you take a nap and it's the long one.
that man said, man said, I'm gonna bust up in your funeral and go, the upper room when Jesus. And you could tell he had that face stuff on, so he couldn't move his lips fully. Dude, I was hollering, bro. Yeah, that's a great classic. But hey, yo, salute to everybody. Hey, Dre, appreciate you. Cool, man. Definitely. Oh, my Akbakashiel in the building. Salute to y'all. Everyone in the audience who's coming in, if this is your first time, this is Friday Night Frankincense via the Bible Dojo. That's my ultimate platform. But whenever you see this room go live, you won't see this on a Thursday. You won't see this room on a Sunday. You won't see this room on a Monday. It is Friday Night Frankincense. And just like that smoke and that Shekinah glory, they call it, filled that temple, that tabernacle of God. I want quorum, even debate to fill the air tonight for anything you believe in that word. Any question you got is not off limits. All you have to do is be respectful. You ain't gonna cuss nobody out on my stage. And guess what else don't happen on my stage? I'm not gonna out-talk you, and to make sure I set limits. So that means when you ask me a question, Whatever time I take to answer it, you have that much time to respond. You ain't gonna out talk me or nothing. Now, if you need a point of clarification while I'm explaining, do that, because if you explain it and I need a particular point, like, no, bro, I'm not interrupting you to stop you. Can you just clear up something for me in this what you said? And that's only if you don't understand. But if you truly understand what I'm saying, don't cut me off just because you want to argue against my point. You'll get to argue against my point when it's your opportunity. You feel me? So with that being the case, whoever it is and whatever it is you so claim to believe, you are invited. All you got to do is put your hand up and come up on the stage. And I also see that the YouTube and Facebook family is filling in. So to salute to everybody, y'all know what it is. It's your brothers at Akban Israel, aka the God Hop MC. Hashtag just the best of nobody special. They also call me cream corn because I'm so smooth. I'm running things. Yeah. And tonight you are in the Friday Night Frankincense Smoke session via the Bible Dojo. Come on in, take your shoes off, look down, check your sock game, and make sure you on point and start your warm-up katas, because it's going to get biblical and extra biblical if you choose to do so. Salute to the homie Hashem in the building over there on YouTube. Salute to Carolyn Wilson. Hello there. Falasa Day. Hello. I see Kevin Howard tapping in from Facebook as well. Salute to everybody listening in on Clubhouse. If you are feeling me, my moderators, or any person who's coming up on the stage tonight and you rocking with them on Clubhouse, yo, become their friends so that y'all can kind of, talk back and forth. And when y'all do rooms and stuff, you can support, because I support Dre. That's my bro. I support Cool Man. That's my bro. And I support Bakashiel. That's my bro. All right. So with that being the case, y'all know what it is. Share this out. Ping people, please. On Clubhouse, there's not a hallway anymore, technically. So I ask that you would ping people that you think might be interested in listening in or even possibly participating. For everybody on YouTube and Facebook, y'all know that the link is pinned to the top of the comment sections on both platforms. You can hit that link and you can come backstage and you can be heard. The people on Clubhouse will hear you as clearly as you can hear everybody on Clubhouse. You heard? So with that being the case, if you're interested in building, reach out to me for building purposes at your boy Zadok at gmail.com. YABOYZAYDOK at Gmail. And if you feel led to support my ministry financially, look on the screen. The ways to do it are there. And if you on Clubhouse and you decide to do so, if the Ruach HaKodesh move upon thine heart, then you just go ahead and touch that PTR. And the pertinent info is in my bio. So I saw that. Hold on. I saw that. Didn't Jay the Jew have his hand up? Did he dip out? He'll probably come back because I actually sent the invite link. Moderators, y'all know my style. If y'all feel somebody is getting out of control, if y'all feel I'm getting too out of control, y'all help rein us back in. Other than that, hey, man, if somebody start cussing and bugging out and they disrespectful, then y'all just go ahead and kick them. I got you up here because I trust your judgment. And if I see somebody just disappear, they either fell out and they'll come back. And if I don't see them come back no more, I ain't asking. In the words of Pastor Offering, don't ask no questions. So the stage is open. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, the stage is open. You could come on up in here and talk your talk tonight. Whatever it is you want to talk about, by God's grace, we are willing to talk about it. I am supremely expecting and looking forward to some of the gentlemen who were talking supremely big over on my bro Cool Man house just within the last 10 minutes, going all the way back to early this morning and late this afternoon and early evening. Y'all know who I was talking about, especially some of the Old Testament only brothers. The guy who called himself the Triller Killer and all his big chest beating like little baby Mighty Joe Young, come on up in here and talk. But the thing is, you will be regulated. In the words of the great prophet Warren G, regulators are on the stage. So with that being the case, anybody, you can even type questions in the chat. Some of y'all might not want to come and talk. So if you want to put a question in the chat, And for those of you who might actually want to rock with the YouTube, I'm gonna put the YouTube link up at the top. I just seen someone ask about that. I'm glad you actually asked for that. So let me put the YouTube link at the top. Just give me 1 second here. I should have did that from the beginning. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm gonna put the link to to tonight's broadcast. Hey, and if you are on YouTube, even if you don't decide to watch through the link, why don't you go ahead and become a subscriber to my channel anyway? I'm gonna go ahead and pin it here. Where's the link pin? There we go. Okay, I pinned the link. So that's the actual tonight session that you're hearing on Clubhouse. If you want to go on YouTube, you'll still hear Clubhouse and you'll still be able to see all the comments and hear the people on Facebook and YouTube as well. And at the least, go ahead and subscribe. So with that being the case, oh, I see you, Bakashiel. You said you accidentally swiped. Hey, Bakashiel, if you are on your phone, bro, when you come up on your phone, go ahead and hit that down arrow and it'll make this open chat small, and then bring it back up and swipe to the right and you'll see it won't drop you out. That's a little trick I learned from somebody who actually was on a platform recently and explained that to the homie Yoshi. Aha. All right. So any of the Facebook and YouTube family, if y'all got questions, or if anybody in this chat tonight got questions, y'all go ahead and put it up and I will do my best to deal with you. And of course, if any of the brothers who are on stage standing by feel led to edify, just let me know. Hey, Zay, I would like to make a point, and you definitely will have the time and opportunity to get it in. You heard me? So yeah, let's see what's good. Any questions? And if we don't have any questions, I give it an opportunity, because people be slow to type and stuff. I give it a quick minute. And if you don't type, then I'll go ahead and set it off with a particular question and something to just get the mood flowing. And by the time people show up, we'll see what happens. You feel me?
You know, you're not getting a lot of questions. I'm trying to get the brother TJ in here now. I'm trying to find him, but yeah, you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? So definitely. But there may be some questions. I think Judah came up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we got a question.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, I see Judah there. I also see, I think a brother just came up on the stage, Joe Adams.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, salute. Good evening.
Joe, what up, man?
Shalom, family.
Hey, bro, I'm glad you here. Salute to the homie Judah. I don't think I've ever had Judah up in Cream Corn House. What's going on, Judah?
Cool and cool. I can't call it. Ready to smell.
All right, that's what's up, bro. Salute to you. So yeah, brethren, hey, even Judah or brother Adam, if it's something on y'all mind biblically that y'all think might be pertinent or something you want to ask, hey, feel free. Feel free.
I just come to show love. When I see names I recognize, I just come to show love, man. That's all.
Oh no, that's good stuff then, bro. That's good. That's good. So with that, Joe, we'll move you down to the audience just so that you come in here to support. Only people I want on the stage tonight is people who actually might have a question. If you don't have a question, that's fine. Now, this is the thing. If you in the audience and somebody got a question, you might. Okay, cool. But hold on, Judah. You might agree with them. You could come up to the stage just to second them, or you could come up on the stage because you like, no, I think that person may have been off, and you want to kind of challenge their thought. It ain't just about me. It's about all the students of Hamashiach tonight. But my brother Judah did say he got a question. So go ahead, Judah. What's your question, bro?
My question is, why do we keep saying that Christ is an angel, and we read Hebrews, and Hebrews clearly said that the Most High never called his son an angel?
Oh, you know what? That's a great question. Now, I don't subscribe to the idea of Christ being the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament. I believe he the God of Israel who's in the Old Testament. I believe he's Yahweh in the Old Testament. That's where I'm at. So that's not my stance, Judah. Is any of the brothers on the stage, do y'all carry a stance that y'all think that Jesus in the Old Testament, pre-incarnate wise, was the angel of the Lord? Cause yeah, Judah, I don't carry that stance, bro.
I mean, even if you don't carry it.
Wait, who said? Wait, hold on. Who said? Wait.
Say Trilla.
Uh-oh.
He's got a good point on it.
The real Triller is in the building. What's going on, dog?
Yeah, I believe that glory of the Lord that dwelt in the pillar of the cloud has something to do with the pre-existence to Christ.
Okay, so hey Judah, why don't you ask
Yeah.
Triller your question? Because Triller actually supports that. Because I don't believe that Jesus was the angel of the Lord.
Well, man, Trilla, we talked about this several times. So,
okay.
So Trilla, let me ask you this then. If Christ, if you say Christ is the angel of the Lord, right, and you think he was that angel that was in the pillar of the clouds, and then we see Hebrews, the writer of Hebrews, that means he added and lied to the text, because you saying that Christ, and you showed textually that Christ was an angel, but here it is, we see in Hebrews, and the writer of Hebrews said God said at any time that he called his son an angel, and his name was higher than that. So who is lying? The writer of Hebrews or you?
So you're gonna have to show me in the writer of Hebrews where he says that he never called his son an angel. I think Hebrews 1:8. You're gonna have to show me how you reading that to where it says that.
No doubt. Let me pull it up right now. So when we look at this writing, we gotta analyze something. Because you can't. There's a lot of people that put titles to Christ, and then they try to own up to them titles that Christ or the Most High never called him out, never spoken those titles onto Christ. Like, for instance, we don't see Christ, Most High calling Christ an angel. We don't see the Christ calling himself an angel. We don't see any of that. As a matter of fact, the angels worship Christ. So we don't see angels worshiping an angel. That don't make sense. Now watch this. Hebrews. Let me go to it. Hebrews 1. What is that? Come on. My buddy. Wherever he go, we go with him. My buddy.
This nigga singing the commercial from the 80s.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, bro, I remember that.
Man, my wife was singing. She was singing. I sang My Buddy. She was singing Kid Sister. My bad. Let me get on still topic, bro. My bad. Come on. Cause just how the way my app is set up, they don't got the books are not in order. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, man. I apologize. Oh my God, this is crazy.
What you reading out the Stones edition to knock, son?
Nah, bro, this app, it's like a little free app, you know what I'm saying? And
We've been telling you get that Blue Letter Bible app for the longest.
Yeah, y'all did, bro. Y'all did. You did. Oh, all right. Here you go. I don't know why I didn't do it like this from the beginning. My bad, bro. Let me see. I think that's 1 and 6. All right, here you go. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 4. I'm gonna start at verse 3. Who being the brightness of his glory? That's Christ. The express image of his person, that's Christ. Upholding all things by the word of his power, that's Christ. When he had by himself purged our sins, that's Christ. Sat down on the right hand of the majesty up on high, that's Christ sitting on the right hand side of the Father. Being made so much better than the angels, that means he was the most important creation of the Most High, as he had by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. That means he was basically second command. For unto which of the angels, and it's with an S, angels, so it's plural. So its meaning is talking about more than one angel. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee, and again I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. Question.
So what is the answer to the question at?
So the question.
What does the writer of Hebrews answer the question?
What did he answer?
What did he say? What did he say? None. The answer is none. What did he say that?
Oh, no, he posed the question. He asked you that question.
So what's the answer?
Oh, no, he asking you that question, sir.
Right. So what's the answer?
The answer is none. He didn't call no angel his son. Right. He asked you that question. You said he did. So he asked you basically, and it's writing saying that, show where? Question where? You don't see him calling no angel son and I'm his father. You don't see that. Watch this. And again, in verse 7, is that verse 6? No, that's verse 6. And again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he said, and let the angels of God worship him. It said, now we see the group of angels now worshiping him. That him is saying his son. He didn't say angel. You never, even when the resurrection, you never seen Christ come back into no angel, no angelic form. Or he was a malak. He was never a malak. He was never a messenger. He was a Lord, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. They worshipped him. So that means when you say that Christ was an angel, that Christ was worship, that angels was worshiping angels. Where do we see that at in the scriptures? Can you show one scripture where an angel worshiped another angel? That was in. We know it was a high. You know, it was a power structure in heaven. We know it was a structure in heaven. We know that, but we don't see Gabriel worshiping Michael, or Michael worshiping Gabriel, or Michael worshiping a seraphim, a cherubim worship. We don't see that, but we see everything was worshiping the Father, and everything underneath the Father was worshiping Christ. We see that. We see the angels were worshiping, and you really don't. You see it read like that, but Christ didn't carry it like that. You never seen Christ say, "Hey Gabriel, come fly me to heaven. Hey Gabriel, do this." And you didn't say it like that. It never went down like that. But he had the power to call legions of angels. He said it himself. I got the power to call 12,000 legions if I needed to. And through the power, and that's one thing he never did. He said through his Father, he had the power to call 12,000 legions of angels. So we see Christ even though he had to order himself. So I'm just trying to see the people that actually believe that Christ was an angel. I don't think nobody can really substantiate book, chapter, and verse that strongly say all through the Old and New Testament that was true.
Well, we got a couple of combinations here for you. I'm going to save earlier because, we was talking about this same subject earlier in the Grand Rising room. Shout out to the Grand Rising. I read you Revelation 22:16 about Christ being the bright and morning star. I asked you to show me another verse in the Bible where it talked about a morning star and it wasn't talking about angels, and you left the room. So I'm going to save that one for later. The first place we're going to go, this is horrible. The first place we're going to go, brother, is Daniel 3, verse 25. Facts. Over for thou. Even before it was over before it started because you still never responded. I think you came back to the room later, but you never responded to the Revelation 22:16. So we're going to get back to that in a second. But first, Daniel chapter 3, we're going to see what you're going to say. I hope Dre here, he remember this. Daniel 3:25. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Judah, who is that? Who is that one that's like the Son of God in there with the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, brother?
Your finger taking too long to hit that mic, Judah.
There you go.
There you go.
The whole time I would say Christ. I didn't know I was going to mute. My bad, bro. My bad. It was Christ. I apologize.
All right.
I was talking.
So, all right. So,
Y'all thought I was going to mute like he had got me. Nah,
oh
nigga.
no, we got you. It's already over.
Hey, hold on. And I didn't lead the room neither, Trilly. Don't do that. Don't misrepresent me. I didn't lead that room.
It don't matter. It's already over.
Nigga, I don't fear you, nigga. I don't fear you, nigga.
And I'll say a lot of people that don't feel me that died by the hands of the sword. You know what I'm talking about?
I done cut you a couple times. Right? You got a couple gas, bro.
You
got a couple gas, man.
You sure did. It's about 100 to 2. You know what I'm saying? 2, 3, 4 times. You know what I'm saying? About 100 to 5. You know
what's the score?
I like it. You know,
hey, that's for a big 100 to 5. God damn, bro.
Everybody, look. You know what I'm saying? You might win some, but you just lost one. Because look, this already over. I ain't even got to go deep into the breakdown.
Oh yes, you do. I got something else for you. Yes, you do.
You already done yielded. You already conceded the whole argument, brother. Right here, Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Go down to verse 28. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel over for thou, and delivered his servants who trusted in him. And they have frustrated the king's word and yielded their bodies that they should not serve nor worship any god except their own. In 586 BC, Jesus was born in like between 6 and 4 BC and died in 30 AD. This verse is before Jesus was incarnated in the flesh. If you saying that Daniel chapter 3, verse 25 was Jesus, he was in the form of an angel. You agree with me. Over for thou.
Now, can I go there? Can I go see that?
Oh, definitely.
Of course you can.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Zadok.
Huh?
And my brother Trill is so smart. He's sharp with these scriptures. But I think he got a little bit of I think he got cataracts a little bit, premature cataracts. Because I don't think the brother can see that much. I think he wear reading glasses. Because when you read Daniel 3 and 28, watch this. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel. Did the Most High say he sent the angel? Or we talking about somebody? No. Hold up.
No, I'm just answering your question. No,
clearly, it was rhetorical, bro.
The Most High didn't say that.
Okay. Now, when you look at the verbiage of what Nebuchadnezzar said, this was a guy who didn't even believe in the Most High. He said, spake and blessed be the God of. So that wasn't his God. So he's looking at what happened, the incident that happened in the furnace, and say, oh, that must be the angel. But we see that it says the son of God. Then we go to Hebrews once again. It said, when at any time have I called my son an angel? So it must have reflected what happened in Daniel 3 and 28 of Nebuchadnezzar saying that. That's why that question was posed. Because of Daniel 3 and 28. And people like Triller coming and say that was an angel. So you notice Triller tap danced around that whole question that was posed in Hebrews about when his son was called an angel. He went to Daniel, and he clearly could see that the Most High didn't call his son no angel.
Judah.
Nebuchadnezzar's words, somebody that don't believe in the Most High is now stronger than the Most High.
Hey, Judah.
That don't make sense.
Hey, Judah. That Hebrews 1 that you just quoted, unto which of the angels did he say at any time? Mm-hmm. What if someone answers, oh, Jesus? Because if you said Jesus,
that's my answer. That's the one, that he said it to.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's what it made me think of, Judah. So if someone asked you that question and then Triller just said that would have been my question, how would you respond to that, Judah?
All right, watch this. Watch this. Watch. Let me show you something. Because you can respond to it several different ways. Matter of fact, for one, you got to respond and show me when an angel has sat at the majesty and the right hand of the Lord, of the Father, right? You got to show me then.
I got you.
Oh, wait a minute. I ain't finished. My G. Then you got to show me an angel praying to the Father for glory that they once had before with the Father. Can't show that. Then you got to show an angel that is had. Matter of fact, let me show you. Let me show you something real quick. I'm steady talking. Let me show it. Because I'm gonna go back.
It's too easy. I got answers for all these questions.
I know you do, and they're gonna be the wrong answer. It's okay to have the wrong answer. Every answer ain't the correct answer. But evidently you got an answer. Let's see who's going to line up. Watch this. Now, I want to ask Zadok. Zadok, let me ask you something. When I say, there's a couple questions, Zadok. Just follow me. When I say being made so much better than the angels, as he have by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. When you hear that scripture, Zadok, that means, what did that tell you right there, Zadok?
I don't think Zadok want to talk about that. I think this is my fight.
Yeah, this is Triller fight.
Okay,
because I don't like that Snoop Dogg spirit, brother. Follow me. I ain't with that, brother.
Hold on. My bad.
Nah, you good, Judah.
Trill. So when you see being made so much better than the angels, as he have by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they, what do that mean, Trill?
That out of all of the angels, he obtained a more excellent name, reputation, authority, and mission than all of the other angels. That's what they mean.
Okay. Now, Trill, was the word of God an angel?
According to my research, the word of God did take the form of an angel.
Okay. Can you give me a book, chapter, verse that shows the word of God took the form of an angel?
No.
Thank you. Moving on.
It's over for thou.
Now here we go. And it said, and of the angels, he said, who make of his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. But onto the now watch this. Now watch this, audience, and clearly how I can't believe Trill missed this. Let's see how he separated the son from the angels. And of the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers and flame of fire. Verse 8. But unto the son, so now he say the angels, the ministers, and flame of fire. Now let's see what he said about the son. Because in true logic, the son is an angel. Watch this. But unto the son, he said, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. Oh, wait a minute. He said the angels are ministers of fire. But he said the son is a king forever and ever. Whoa. That don't show separation of power? So how in the hell you can come and say that Christ was an angel, but we clearly can see, you can't clearly substantiate that nowhere in the text, because you just said it, you just hopefully admitted it, that when he came from the word, you say he manifested into an angel. You don't got no text for that. But then you want to go to Daniel 3:28 and try to substantiate that when he said the son of God, and then a non-believer, Nebuchadnezzar, say that was an angel. He didn't even know an angel from God, right? And you want to substantiate and say that's what made it say it's the angel. Then when I went to Hebrews 1 and proved that he had a more excellent name, that he never called him his son an angel. Why would he? That's what I'm paraphrasing. That's what the question is saying. And then when we go down to verse 8, he gave a separation. He said the angels are ministers of fire, but my son is a king forever. The scepter will be in his throne forever. Which angel is sitting on? So now an angel can sit on the throne? Come on, bro. You don't got nothing to come back with that, bro.
Judah.
Look, I'm sticking in the barrel oil, bro. Don't let Judah fool you. gonna lose this one tonight.
Hey Judah, I'm just stepping in right quick as a point of moderation because no, because I do have other people that want to get it in. No, I'm just giving I'm giving you a Triller about another 4 or 5 minutes just to come to some kind of conclusion. Y'all can agree to disagree, but I like this. You on this grass.
Yeah, I mean, Triller know how I carry, man. That's my brother. He taught me a lot, bro. But I gotta kick Mr. Miyagi ass sometimes.
Right, so before I go into this breakdown on because this the big lights right here. I'm pretty sure we on YouTube and all that. So in Daniel chapter 3.
Hold up, why you gotta throw the YouTube on me, Trey? That you able as hell, bro. You had to throw the YouTube at me, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'll wait for you.
So in Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. The fourth, who is like the Son of God, who you already admitted is Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a human?
No.
What is that?
I mean, if I had a celestial being, a celestial being, that's all I can say. I don't know. Something with a celestial body. I mean,
over for thou.
But you can't. But Phil, you can't say that. Hold up. Listen, you make it seem like Christ didn't have a celestial and a terrestrial body. He had both. Let's be honest. He had both. Because he went in his terrestrial form and he went in his celestial form at the resurrection.
Can you show me a book, chapter, verse of a celestial body that's not an angel?
The Father.
Okay, well, Jesus ain't the Father, so
right. But I'm just saying
we can't. The Father can't be in the scope of this conversation unless we're saying that Jesus is the Father. So can you show me another one?
Okay.
Besides the Father, brother.
No, I mean no. I don't think a celestial body is just pinpointed for angel. I mean, come on, that's be real.
Hey, that's fine. I already deduced that from your statements. Okay, you show me a book, chapter, verse where a celestial being is not an angel.
Yes. What is that? Revelation, where you got the 24 elders and those other beings and beasts. They not considered angels.
Are they humans?
No.
What are they?
What they heavenly beings. They're not angels.
All right.
Hold on. That's why I say, Trill, let me expound on that, Trill. Hey, Trill, let me expound on that. We know.
We only got like 3-4 minutes left.
I know.
You've been talking, man.
10 seconds, Trill. 10 seconds. We know. When we see those different beasts that's in Revelations, that they stay in the heavens. They don't come out the heavens at all. We can see that. They just praise the Most High. We see that. So they don't come out the heavens and talk to anybody. They stay in the heavens at all times.
Mm-hmm. All right, I got you. So let me just go ahead and do this little rundown right quick since I only got 3-4 minutes, man. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 9, man. Look at this. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. Mm-hmm. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, his wheels a burning fire. Verse 13 and 14. I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven. Mm-hmm. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Then to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, the one which shall not be destroyed. Is this Son of Man in Daniel chapter 7, verse 13 and 14? Is this a human? I hope you don't take too long because I got some more verses to read.
No, that's not a human. No.
It's not a human. What is it?
Well, it's Christ.
Y'all remember that rock and roll song? More human than human. Yeah, look,
it's Christ. It's Christ.
All right. Yeah. We know it's Christ. We know it's the Mashiach. But I'm asking you what form he in, but you don't know. So look.
No. Hold. You talking about? Wait a minute. Nobody don't know because it was a form of a vision. Come on, bro.
It's all right, brother. It's all right, brother. I got more verses
to
bring
Go
out,
ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Enoch chapter 46, verse 1.
He done went to Enoch. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I just went to Enoch.
Went to Enoch. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm here, brother.
Rock with it, bro. You know I rock with you. Go ahead, rock with it, bro.
Enoch chapter 46, verse 1. There I beheld the Ancient of Days, whose head was like wool. Ain't that what Daniel chapter 7 say, brother?
If you listen, you know I don't reference Enoch to a canon, but if it has some, it sounds like that's what it's saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't rock with Enoch like that, so I can't really substantiate Enoch in this conversation, bro, because that's not a book that I actually like indulge in.
Said the canon, but if we was, but you'll go to that second edge. Whoa.
He brought out the book of Adam and Eve yesterday.
That's Judah, though.
The book of Adam and Eve in the
I said I read it. I didn't say I believed in it.
You read it. I read it. You bought it out. Yeah,
I read it.
You bought it to the public. You know.
Yo, no, that was good, Joe. I remember Judah saying, "Yo, this book I'm reading, it say something different." So he was referencing it, but I know Judah don't. You don't look at that as canon, right, Judah? The book of Adam and Eve.
I don't. No, not no book of Adam and Eve. I mean. There's only one outside book that I really look at it and say this canon, and that's that Infancy. That Infancy book, yeah, because it got a lot, bro.
The Gospel of James.
Yeah, I know. Is that the guy?
No, yeah, they call it the Infancy. Yeah, but it's actually its proper name is the Gospel of James.
Yeah, that thing.
Let me finish my lesson, man. For my time.
Go ahead.
Okay, hey, Trill, I give you 3 more minutes, man, so I can get to the next person because I got some people in the queue.
You not cut him up. You gotta put the band-aids on. Let him put the band-aids on.
You lost after your first go around, bro.
Yeah,
when you said Daniel 3:25 was Christ, you lost right there, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience and on stage would agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so there I beheld the Ancient of Days.
You still eating
like wool, and with him another, whose countenance resembled that of man. His countenance was full of grace, like one of the holy angels. Then I inquired of one of the angels who was with me, and who showed me every secret thing concerning this son of Adam, who he was, whence he was, and why he accompanied the Ancient of Days. Enoch chapter 48, verse 2 through 5. Headshots. In that hour was the Son of Man invoked before the Lord of hosts, and his name in the presence of the Ancient of Days, before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of heaven were formed. His name was invoked in the presence of the Lord of hosts. A support shall he be, and he shall be the light of the nations. He shall be the hope of those whose hearts are troubled. All who dwell on the earth shall fall down and worship before him, shall bless and glorify him, and sing praises to the name of the Lord of hosts. Therefore, the elect and the concealed one existed in his presence before the world was created and forever. Now, you don't believe in the book of Enoch. But who is that? Is that talking about Jesus?
Yeah, but he don't say nothing about no angel. He ain't say he was an angel. He's still getting cut up.
Hey, it's fine and dandy, brother. You agree with me,
bro? I never said everything you read, bro. I never said that was Christ.
I only got 59 seconds, bro.
It's over for that.
You
gassing for air, bro.
I only got 53 seconds,
for air, bro.
I only got 52 seconds. I only got 49 seconds, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Like, damn, I didn't say nothing while you was talking. So you agree that this is Jesus? And we talking about before the world was created. Is this verse talking about a human?
No.
What is he?
He's the word. He's the light.
Can you show me? Got 25 seconds. Can you show me a verse in the Bible that's talking about morning stars that don't refer to an angel? I can mute my mic now.
Yes. Matter of fact, yes, I can show you that. It's in Job when it says he's the father of lights. When it says the sun, moon, and stars were luminaries. The word luminary mean as lights, bright lights. We can see that.
I say morning stars, brother. Morning stars.
Okay, stars mean plural as more than one.
No, morning stars, not more than stars.
Morning stars or stars? Like like stars.
Morning stars.
No, that's different, bro.
Stars.
Morning star and morning stars is different, bro. Morning stars
can you show me a Bible verse where it's in the singular or the plural?
Stars. I can, but that's going to defeat the purpose of the conversation because it did call Lucifer, Satan, that bright morning star. It did say,
and that's talking about an angel, right? Yeah, see, look. Hey, I yield, man. Everybody see what just happened. Over for thou. Don't play with me.
Yo, it's all good. Yo, I appreciate that. And y'all see, I stayed out of it. So this ain't just about me. And you don't have to you just come on and hold your position and let it be what it is. Let the audience decide what they get out of it, because at the end of the day, people in the audience are on all different kind of levels at different stages in their walk. Some people just beginning. Some people are very well seasoned in their belief system, but might be getting into reading the Bible more, all of that kind of stuff. So this is dope. Yo, Judah and Triller, man, yo, I appreciate y'all. That was lovely. Yo, we got a couple of brethren who are tapping in from Facebook and YouTube as well. And so they're actually in the queue as well for asking questions. So Clubhouse, you'll be able to hear these brethren when they talk the same way that they are able to hear you all. So we got up on the stage. Okay, let me, who we got here? The Hebrew. What's good, the Hebrew? What's up with it?
What's good, man? What's going on with you?
Oh man, maintaining, bro. So you see what's going on. This is an open discussion. You might have a particular question. Don't look for agreements or disagreements. That's gonna come naturally. But if you got a question or something you want to put on the table, or even a statement, just go with what you know, bro.
Yeah, okay. So what I was trying to find out, man, was where in the scriptures, where exactly are the Gentiles brought into the covenant with that was made with Israel? I was trying to find that out. So I was looking for biblical evidence of Gentiles being brought into the covenant. Now, as far as I know, the Gentiles will be brought, the way they're going to be brought into the covenant is they're going to be brought in as possessions, to be servants in the coming kingdom. But the inheritance is strictly and solely for Israel, is my understanding. So if there's anyone that has biblical evidence of it, can
Romans 11:11.
okay, so we jumping in Romans in the New Testament.
Hey, hold on there, brother Donald. Hold on there for a second. Hold your horses, young Kung Fu Padawan. I know you're ready. I tell you, he ain't say, hey, can I say something or nothing. He was up in there. Hold on, Donnie. I got you. So finish. I want you to finish landing your question clean, brother, before I go in.
It's really not so much a question, but but just I'm looking for for scriptures that can be that we can reason one another and determine whether these scriptures what exactly Gentiles are talking about. Because I'm sure when you people look at a lot of the words and they see Gentiles in there, they're going to assume it is talking about some natural Gentile, some natural non-Israelite from the seed of not from the seed of Abraham. But
okay,
I'm sure you've heard this already. When you come into the New Testament, though, my understanding is that, like I said, the covenants are made with Israel, and Christ came back for Israel, for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So I just want to bring some clarity to the matter here and try to reason with brothers to try to find out, if they could, if there's a valid explanation for where these Gentiles, these natural Gentiles, are brought into the covenants, and are they equal You know what I'm saying? Do they have all the brought into the covenants and they're just okay, it's all kumbaya. We all one and the same. It's for all of us. Or, do they understand like the story of what's actually going on and what it was foretold was going to happen?
Okay. I'm understanding where you're at, King. And what I'll say is this: welcome to the Bible Dojo. You in the right place, my brother. And for everybody else listening in, y'all go ahead and share this out because it's about to get smoky. Now, hey, check. Oh, hey, bro. While you not talking, mute your mic, Hebrew, so we cut down on the background feedback.
Yes, sir.
If you want to say something, don't hesitate to come off mic, King. So, hey, salute. I see a few more people have tapped in. My mama tapping in from Facebook. Hello, mama. I'm glad you here because you need Jesus. We already got Brother Wiggins here. Brother Don Wig is here. Salute. He's already on the stage. That was him who came off the mic ready to do a kata. And salute to I think this is his significant other, Markeisha. Salute to you, Queen. She said, yo, that is dope. She said, I'm here, babe. So watch how you deal with Brother Don, because his woman might come behind him with the blicker. So, check this out. Now, that was a fair question. And I'll tell you this, with that question genders in my mind, is there is a way that I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's a way you're looking at Israel's original covenant, and the way you're looking at their original covenant, as you look to see how people claim the Gentiles come into the new covenant, you're basing the standard on whatever it would mean for Gentiles if they were not, let's say, quote unquote, the northern kingdom. Because it's a lot of brothers who will say, when you in the New Testament books and you read the Gentiles, it's talking about the northern kingdom. I don't agree with that, but that is what I've been hearing for about the last 2 decades. So I understand that's out there. But then let's say it's not that, and it's these quote unquote people of other nations, quote unquote, the heathen. Then what would they look like in the new covenant, and what would their position be?
Am I the only one that's hearing you scratchy, or is that can anybody else hear that? Because you sound real ruffled up.
I don't know. Do I sound bad, everybody? What about my clubhouse family? Do I sound loud and clear?
Clear.
Oh, okay. I'm sounding clear, bro. That might be on your end, King. Or and if you listening on the speaker, maybe you want to turn it down a little bit, and it might be chopping. But at any rate, I think that the way you're looking at it is you're looking at what you might understand is the position of clearly Gentiles in the Old Testament. You can't go into the Old Testament. What's interesting is you can't go into the Old Testament and use the word goyim to specifically just mean like another tribe, even though the word Gentile in Hebrew, the word goy and goyim, when you're talking about it in the plural sense, you can't just make it mean the tribes of Israel. Now, when Yahweh talks about all the nations, Israel is included in all the nations. So at every now and again, in a very rare sense, is the word Gentile or goy applied. I'll give you an example. So we're going to open up the Bible right quick, and I want to show you what I mean. And I'm glad you asked this question, because wherever you might be in your studies, hopefully this will be helpful to you. So check this out, right? So when you look at that phrase, this is interesting. It's actually in the title. And every time brothers say it, they actually say it this way. So let's look here at the nation of Israel. Now, this is what's interesting. Let's go to the book of Amos, chapter 6. And in the book of Amos 6:14, Yahweh says, but behold, I will raise up against you a nation, O house of Israel. Now, when you look at that word, so whatever this nation is, when we go to the Bible tools, that word nation, hold on, let me bring it up right quick. There we go. That is the word goy, number 1471 in your concordance. And so we know that this isn't him talking about, because in Amos specifically, he's not even getting on Judah that bad. Amos is specifically almost 100% a rebuke of the northern kingdom, Ephraim. I think you know that. So with that being the case, when he says, I will bring a nation against you, we know that nation, or that goy, was the Assyrians. Now, if we actually back up and we go to another text, right? Hold on, let me bring this back up. And okay, here we go. So let's go to Exodus 19 now. When we go to the book of Exodus 19, this is Yahweh, and he's addressing Israel specifically. And what does he say to Israel there? He actually says to them, he says in Exodus 19:6, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. If you own Bible Hub or if you in Blue Letter Bible and you pull up the tools, when he says, you shall be to me a holy nation, guess what the word for nation is? Goy. So before I go further, brother, do you see, at least in the Old Testament, that the word for nation, and sometimes this word is used as when it talks about more than one, it'll say goyim, it'll put that im on it with the iron and I'm sorry, with the, I think the yod and the mem to make it plural, meaning it's talking about more than one. Do you accept that in the Old Testament, at least the word Gentile every now and again is used at the nation of Israel, but it's definitely used talking about nations, period?
Yes.
Okay, fair. That's good. Now, as we get into this, I want to take a look at something. Let's go to the New Testament right quick. And as we go to the New Testament, there is a statement made by the elder Shaul, right? And he says this about Abraham and the gospel. So, in wait, where do I want to go? I want to go to Galatians 3. And in the book of Galatians, this is what Paul claims. It says, verse 8, and the scripture foreseeing that God would justify the heathen. Now, wait, well, I'm sorry, through faith, preach before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all, in the Old Testament, it'll say all goyim be blessed. This text here, brother, that Paul is claiming, this is showing us that the gospel was told to Abraham, and this is Genesis 12. Way back in Genesis 12, when Abraham was first called from his family, it says the gospel message begins there for you know, to the nations at least, and the message claimed to be,
okay. Can I
wait, hold on. I'm not finished.
Okay.
And you shall all nations be blessed. Here, heathen and all nations in Galatians 3:8. How do you exegete it? I exegete it as Paul is saying that it is understood that God would justify all of mankind, everyone, not just Israel, but everyone besides the children of Abraham. When God said to Abraham in Genesis, and you shall all, and I'm going to say Gentiles, be blessed. How do you exegete that? What does that mean to you, bro?
So we can go back to the promise that was actually given. It goes back to the promise that was given to Abraham, I believe, in was it Genesis 14, where when he told Abraham, he said through Abraham, all nations of the earth are going to be blessed, right?
I think it's chapter 12. You want to go back there right quick?
Yeah, we can go back there.
Yeah, let's go back there to Genesis 12:1. When you got it, bro, you can read it. And Don, I see you standing by. So you want to add something to this, Don?
No, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying.
Okay, that's what's up.
Bring your boy up on that young YouTube stage right quick, fella.
Okay, fella, you go ahead. I'm bringing you right up. But go ahead, hey, Hebrew, when you got it, King, you can
Genesis. I'm at 12. It says, and now the Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of the country, out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went his way. Went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So when Abraham is given this promise, Abraham is promised these things from the Most High, and part of the promise is that Abraham is going to be given this land. Now, if we understand the scriptures, we know that Abraham died never receiving these promises. Can we agree on that?
Yes, Abraham didn't get the land. He got to live in it, but he never got to see the fulfillment of it.
Right. So this is what it's talking about. This is an everlasting promise. This is a promise that he's given to Abraham, for the end times, where he's telling Abraham that this land, this promised land, his children, his seed are going to inherit all of this land. Paul gets into it and tells you about when he tells you about the seed, the chosen seed of, and not the seed of Ishmael, not the seed of the kids of children of Keturah, but through the seed of Isaac is where who all these chosen people will be. That was the fruition of the promise. It was not all these other sons that Abraham had, but it was rather the children that came through Abraham, through Isaac, and through Jacob. And the children of Jacob were the fruition of all of it, were the chosen seed. Can we agree on that?
Yes, as far as Abraham's children, the children of his flesh, out of his 7 sons, first one Ishmael, of course you got Isaac, then you got the 5 sons out of Keturah. None of them were the seed of promise. It was Isaac.
Amen. Right. So I mean, I want to go back and forth. I don't want to just start shotgunning off a lot of stuff. I want to make sure that we can actually reason with one another and find common ground that we can build on, so we can establish.
But as we do that in Genesis 12, what I want you to address in context, the reason, because I believe what gendered this chapter in your mind was me reading what Paul claimed. Now, Paul said that it was understood that God would justify the heathen when the gospel was said through to him, and you shall all nations. Now, in the New Testament, Paul says nations, but here in verse 3, it says all families of the earth. So how do you reconcile the idea of heathen and nations, all nations, with all families of the earth? What family are you in your mind claiming would be blessed?
I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So the other families are going to be blessed because the promise that the promise and the fulfillment of the promise is in the end time, when Christ comes. The New Jerusalem is brought down. The kingdom of heaven is brought down here. That is when Abraham and his children are going to inherit that kingdom. Now, part of them inheriting that kingdom also comes with they're going to have servants in that kingdom. And these servants are going to be non-Israelite. They're going to be all of these people from the other nation. So I'm not one telling you that's coming and saying, hey, man, it's only going to be Israelites in the kingdom. No, the scriptures tell you that these other nations, these other people are going to be in there, and they're going to be there as servants to the children of
God. No, that's fine. Now, so that means that in Galatians, the heathen or nations that will be blessed in Abraham and that would be justified by God are the individuals who you saying that these people from other nations. I just want to make sure that we're walking and seeing that the same. I mean, if you think that, hey, they're going to serve Israel and that's cool, but that is who Paul is referencing in Galatians 3.
That is what I'm saying. And that is the way they're going to be. These heathens, these so-called heathens, these outside, and these are not just any people. These are people that are going to be like Eliezer was to Abraham. These are going to be people that understand who the children are. They're going to understand that the covenants and the promise, the same way Eliezer did with Abraham. Eliezer knew that was Abraham's God. That's how he addressed him as Abraham's God. He never addressed him.
That's fair. Because Abraham is the one who they all find out about this God through. So in that thing, what's interesting is Eleazar is the same one who was sent to get Isaac's wife for him. And it says Abraham called his steward who ruled over all that he had. So when you talk about, if you look at Eleazar and compare him as a servant of Abraham, it seems Eleazar is in the same position that Joseph was in Egypt. To everyone he served, whoever Joseph served, Joseph got put in charge. He was so trusted and loved that he was put in charge of everything that person had, whether it was Potiphar or whether it was the highest man in the land, Pharaoh. So if Eleazar, the stranger who was circumcised on the same day Abraham was and Ishmael was, Isaac wasn't born yet, he came a year later, then the servitude, even when we make that claim, servitude in the context of what God's promise is for those who will be with Israel, it's not an evil thing for them. It's actually a good thing for them. They'll be loved and some of them might even be as trusted as Eleazar, possibly, right?
Right. So people get this they have this misconception that when you go telling people you're going to have to serve the children of the Most High in the kingdom of heaven, they get this like like they're above, or like that's serving other people is beneath it. Is beneath it, something they're willing to do. So these are not the people that have the spirit. They don't have the understanding and the know-how to know what's going on here. Abraham loved Eliezer. He loved Eliezer to the point to where he didn't have the children, and he was the Lord was making him these promises, and he told him, he said, I don't have any children. Why, except for this, the one that's going to keep all my stuff is this Eliezer of Damascus. He was ready to give everything to
son.
Everything was going to pass on to Eliezer, right? Because he did not have his own seed. So these are love people, and Abraham and Eliezer was willing to do things because he had been with Abraham for a long time. He had seen a lot of stuff that Abraham had been through. You read
Hebrew. Just let me jump in here right quick, because I'm rocking with that particular concept. But the reason why people, when they hear it, might have an issue is because honestly, the people who represent, let me ask you this, you say the Hebrew, so you would claim in the belief that you're an Israelite, correct? You're right?
Correct.
Okay. For those out here in the world, when people hear Israelite, the stereotype, those who are the popular voices, the ones who people are experiencing if they don't meet Israelites face to face, they only see them on YouTube when they call themselves, quote unquote, holding camp. Them Negroes is racist. And what you just said is not what they're meaning when they say that same phrase to people. Hey, those who are going to be among Israel will serve them. But when they describe the servitude, it's about kissing boots and being nothing. You're spit on the ground. That's the way that they preach it. I've been hearing it ever since I've been battling One West guys in the early 2000s. So I just want you to know the reason why when you say that and it might throw some people off, it's because by the time they ran into you, they've been exposed to something else that has already defined what the quote unquote the nations who will serve Israel, what it means. And to them, it don't feel like the kingdom of God. It feel like you got stuck in the dungeon with no light.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it like this. So in these other nations, God does describe these other nations and the wicked deeds and their desire to serve other gods and to do all of these abominations. He does describe them as spittle. He says they're nothing. That's what they are. He cut his people away from all these nations to be a severed,
when you say he calls them spittle, that's fair, but he even called Jacob a worm. He said, Jacob, thou worm. So whatever is worse, spit or worms, I think that the connotation is just saying that, just like Nebuchadnezzar said in Daniel chapter 4, there is a God in heaven who run everything. And he said, all the nations, that don't exclude Israel, it includes them. All nations are in his sight reputed as nothing, but he give rulership to who he want and he take it from who he want. So that spittle narrative is fair as long as we're going to balance it with everything that Yahweh said.
Yeah, I'm not here to to really get in too much on the spittle and all that, but all of these nations are looked at as nothing. He has a covenant. He has covenants with Israel, right? That's who he loves. Those are his chosen people. He didn't choose everybody. He chose Israel. He is their God, and they are his people. So he's doing all of this stuff. Everything that the books are written for is for their bit, for their behalf, so that they understand him.
Hey, my brothers. I'm sorry. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can, Donald. I'm gonna make a point, then you can ask a question to the brother. So Hebrew, I'm gonna ask you about this here because I don't have no issue with that. Israel is the inheritance of Yahweh, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So here, when I read you this text, I want you to tell me what this what this is in your mind. So it says this is 80. This is Psalm 82 and 8. Arise, O Elohim, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Are all the nations his inheritance as much as Israel is his inheritance?
For thou shalt inherit all the nations.
Yeah. Psalm 82 and verse 8.
All of his children, all of these Israelites are now scattered in all of these nations right now. right? Even in the time when they were speaking, he had already started scattering all of the tribes had already been scattered and dispersed into all of these
Well,
nations.
no, not at that time, because David or Asaph would have wrote this, so there was no captivity. As a matter of fact, under David, Israel it was all Israel was never united more than ever before than under David. They didn't split until Solomon's son inherited the kingdom. So
Right.
in this context, at least when this is said, there is no split in Israel. So you are claiming that you would perceive that when it says he shall inherit all nations, this is just simply him saying you shall inherit all the Israelites who are among all nations.
People from every nation are going to be in the kingdom of heaven. That's what I want to make clear. You're going to have people from every nation in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be the Israelites is the inheritance. They're the ones who the kingdom is for, and all these other people are going to be there as servants.
Okay.
They're going to serve in the kingdom of heaven. So it beats the alternative, because if you're not in the kingdom of heaven, there's only one other place you're going to be, with the weeping and gnashing of teeth. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm on that type of time. I'm tracking with you.
It's not. This ain't where something where everybody just going ahead and like he lays it all out on how you gonna get there, who is for, what is for, why it's there. Like, it's all laid out in the scriptures, and that's I'd like to just want to come to common ground with brothers where we can reason, man, and start building on that, rather than just having these doctrines that we just want to stick to and try to just push,
Well, hey, bro, we just here. This is the Bible Dojo. Friday night in particular, the frankincense session. So all we doing is reading the text and seeing what we think it say. But the bro Donald wanted to ask a question, so I'm gonna give him an opportunity. Hey Don, what you wanted to say, bro?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I was listening to the conversation, and my brother that's actually hosting this, I mean, you are on point. Let me say that. Uh, my next question though, for the young brother speaking about Abraham. Now, we all know that man can be one man or plural. So we're talking about the promises of Abraham of his seed. Is he talking about the nation of Israel, or is he talking about the coming one, or that did come, Jesus?
No, well, there's I mean, you're gonna have different parts to the promises, right? To the promise that's given to Abraham. Part of the promise given to Abraham is that his seed are going to inherit this land. Another part of that same promise is that same land that they're going to inherit is going to have to be serviced and kept up by these servants. So that's part of the promise as well. So I mean, I don't know any other better way to explain it, to try to make it to where, I already said it clearly. These children, these people from these other nations are going to be there, but their role is going to be there as servants.
Well, I'm following you, brother, because earlier in the earlier of the conversation, when I said Romans 11:11, you immediately said New Testament. So I guess my understanding, or do you accept the New Testament as scripture, or
Well,
are
yes,
you just speaking?
so.
Okay.
And I apologize, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off. I very much so do accept the New Testament. But see, the issue I have, and I addressed this to, I already told this to Brother Zadok already. I said, generally, when I get to speaking to brothers about this, especially about this kind of topic about covenants and whatnot, is we always have this misunderstanding on what a Gentile actually is. So by the time we get to the New Testament, people are all gun ho and to run in and believe that every time they see Gentile, that's just assuming that's a natural heathen. A man from another nation, not from the seed of Abraham, not from the seed of Shem, just some natural other nation heathen. And it couldn't be further from the truth. By the time you get to the New Testament, now all the Israelite is scattered. All these people that Jesus came for to fulfill, who are part of the covenant, they are all in these other nations, which is why he goes and gets somebody like Paul and tells Paul to go out there and go to these other nations to start gathering up all of these Israelites. There's a lot that goes on to this. He talks about their covenant with blood being disannulled, how, before they were having to kill and sacrifice animals. Now, when Christ comes, they're no longer going to have to do that. So all of these brothers that's scattered around now, they're not going to have to be coming into the nation of Jerusalem, coming into Jerusalem and doing all of this stuff to get their sacrifices once a year, like they normally would. Now, all of this stuff that's going to be done away with. Right. So it's a story, man. It's a very deep and well thought out and well written story that has to be once you start going through it and you start looking at it, there's certain things that by the time you get to New Testament and people have these doctrines, these are beliefs that cannot be proven in the Old Testament. I think
Yeah, but Paul did say that he is an apostle to the Jews and the Gentiles, though. So, like, even if you had the thought process, like Acts 2, the day of Pentecost, those 17 different languages that the angels was able to speak to these people in their own tongue with what Peter was saying. They were all Israelites. They were all sojourning back to Jerusalem for the Passover. So you can we get that part, because it didn't happen. The 10 tribes was by the Assyrians. Not one arrow went into Judah until Babylon came. So my question is that, like, you can't really mix them. You can't really differentiate when you read the prayer of Jesus in John 17. He said, "All that are mine, that are yours, that is in my hand." He didn't differentiate whether it was bloodline. So, like, I get what you're saying, but then again, it's like, who is trying to go to heaven as a servant, though?
I would gladly go as a servant. Now, so that's the thing. Now we're gonna be asking, open ended questions, like, to where you just have really your opinion is all that really matters, right? So yeah, I
No,
would
no,
love
no, no, not opinion. The word.
to.
We talking the word.
Right? You just asked me a question like, who would want to go as a servant? I would love to go as a servant. If I had to go in as a servant, if that was the only way I could go in, I would be ecstatic. I would just love knowing that I'm going, right? So I'm not the one that's going to sit here and tell you like, oh man, I got to go in. I got to be a servant. It just so happens because I read the scriptures and I understand the scriptures that through all the identifications that God said he was going to put his people through, that I fit inside of that who his people actually are. So I understand what an Israelite is. I understand what a
Okay,
Hebrew.
I'm following you. So, my brother, my question is this: then, where does it show in Scripture that the Gentiles will be servants? Whether it's in the New Kingdom in the 1,000 year, or is it after New Jerusalem and New Heaven and New Earth, and after the 1,000 year? Like, when does it show in Scripture that Gentiles would be servants?
I got you. Let me find that for you right now, brother. That's and I believe it's in
Hey, hey, after
And that's my floor. That's my floor time. I just wanted to ask those questions. Appreciate it.
hey, no problem, Don. Salute to you, King. So, hey, Hebrew, you can answer his question, and then I know my bro Trill might wanna put something on the table to you. I'll give y'all a little time, and then go to the next person in the queue. I appreciate this too, bro. I appreciate you being solid on your stance, and I appreciate your decorum. So, you got it, bro. If you want to put that text on the table, he asked you for.
yeah, I'm over here I'm working on an old iPad right now, man, because I generally get them off my phone. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull it out. I promise you I got that for you, but you could have your next man ask the question or whatever
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah. I'll be looking for it. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir.
All
Okay.
right.
No, that's not now that's not a problem. Hey Trill, as he finds that text he want to share, is it anything that's coming to your mind that you think you might want to ask or share with the brother in the context of what you heard so far? If you are speaking, you are muted, sir. Okay, Trill might actually be doing something at this time. So as you find your text to Hebrew, you had asked me earlier about a certain text, and I just want to show you something here, because this is the thing. There is not an issue with nations serving Israel, because when Israel was in other people's nations, they served them to the point most people can forget, but the Babylonian captivity became so lucrative to some Israelites from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and they got so doggone rich that when it was time for those who were willing to go back to Jerusalem to build under the auspices of Cyrus, and then later on we know Darius had to reinstitute that decree from the Medes, from the Empire of the Medes. Many Israelites didn't go back. That's why you got a Babylonian, that's why you got the Babylonian Targums and the the uh 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 the Jews of Babylon who were very wealthy. See, even in quote unquote captivity, no one dismisses that it's captivity. Even some of you listening in tonight would claim you're an Israelite still in captivity. And some of you Negroes have taken your money, and by what? The rules you live under by your oppressor. Many of you have invested in stocks. Some of y'all done got into real estate. You're flipping houses. Some of y'all got careers in the trades or in corporate America. And some of y'all might, not be so much, into the bag. But I'm only saying this for those of you who say you're in captivity. I ain't arguing with you. Let's just be honest about the freedom you got. Some of y'all in captivity got passports and traveled the damn world. So, some of y'all in captivity actually live off the system and don't even really work that much. Some of y'all might have physical handicaps, and your oppressor's system actually provides you with SSI or SSD. And even though you may not be wealthy, they giving you like $1,000 a month to add with however else you get money in order for you to live. So for any Israelite listening tonight, I want every one of you captives to listen clear. This is what your captivity looks like. So when you explain the captivity of other Israelites in antiquity, don't romanticize it. If you're their descendants, and this is what your captivity looks like, even though you're not in the chattel slavery of the democratic planter class South part of captivity, you do claim you're in captivity. If this is what your captivity looks like, then damn it, all of those rich Israelites who became bankers and landowners in Babylon, to the point they weren't trying to go back with Ezra and Nehemiah and them and help build no burnout, even though some of them gave big financial donations. And we can go to historical proof of that. Just understand what you being in another nation's sovereign territory given to them by Yahweh, of course. Look what your serving them looks like. So when other people hear that when you come among Israel, you will serve them, just don't. If you listen to a racist bigot who claim to be Israel and trying to explain the text to you, then just forget that fool, because he don't know what he's talking about if he explains what the servitude looks like wrong. At least this brother here tonight, he doesn't seem to be explaining it incorrectly to me, but I do think the way he might be looking at the Gentiles serving the nation of Israel might be a limited view, because I'm going to argue their servitude is only in the context of them coming into Israel's borders, where they rule from the great river now, from the great river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Nothing else. So when you come in that sovereign territory, you gonna respect them people, and if you gonna live there, you gonna serve them people. But we ain't talking about nothing else further than that, in my opinion. And I believe I can show that and exhort and inarguably out the prophets. But hey, bro, did you get that text yet?
Yeah, I got that text, and but you said a lot right there, and I wanted to address.
Oh yeah, I said a lot. I mean a lot. But go ahead and share that text you got, and then you can expound. Even if you want to address some stuff I said, you fine. You got it.
That's all right, bro. Okay, so in Isaiah chapter 14, and I'll read from verse 1, and it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased." So, the brother asked me, I believe, where it showed that these people were going to be servants and handmaids right there.
Okay. No, that's a good text. That's a good text.
In the coming kingdom. When you read on, you read the story and the prophets break it down. He
So
tells
who
you
is the king of Babylon there that he's referencing? Because I would argue that this has already been fulfilled. This isn't necessarily what's being this, even though there is something, other things I think describe the coming kingdom you reference. What you just read there, I believe that that's referencing actually something that has already happened. Who is the king of Babylon there that's being spoken to?
well, Babylon, and you know, in Revelation, it tells you about Babylon. We're in the land of Babylon. We're in this confusion,
Oh, okay,
land
okay.
of confusion where everything was up is down, and was down is up, and was man is woman, was woman is man, in is out. You know, like everything you're being taught here, and that goes on to what I want to say about what you just said about us being in this captivity. Now, part of us being in this captivity, part of the captivity is that we have to take on these customs of these other nations. We cannot do the things that the Most High has ordained that we do, because we have been stuck in these nations where these things are. This nation is run by the people that run it, right? They don't follow the ways of the Most High. They were not given the words of the Most High, so they have laws, their own set of laws over here. They don't go off of the Most High's laws. They have their own laws over here. They got speed limits and stuff like that, right? You can only go so fast. Like, this law is governed by people that are non-Israelites. It's governed by these other people. And part of it is all of these celebrations. You got a Christmas, a Halloween, a Thanksgiving, like all of these pagan feasts and festivities over here are celebrated, where according to the Most High, these things are abominations, right? So it's very clear that these people are not severed; they're not set apart. These people are very much the harlot, the one that is bringing people into this nonsense, into this madness. That's encouraging people to get drunk and sip from this wine. They tell you, listen, you know, a little boy doesn't know what he wants to be yet. He has a right to, you know, make up his mind. The Bible didn't tell you that. Right? They have all of these things are mixed up where the world is in the land that we live in. Everything is backward. It's not going to according to what God said. It's going according to what a man said. And that's what he tells you, not to be drunk and not to be in these doctrines of men. You people get over here and they start assuming that because everybody else is doing it, that's just the norm. No, when you read the Bible, these things were not done. The Most High did not. He hates these kind of things that they're doing. We are supposed to be set apart, to be severed from it as His people. And that's the part of them being captive. They don't even understand that they have taken all of this. They've been brought up around in these nations, and that is just their normal custom act. You know, they're doing these things just out of habit because that's all they've known. They don't even know the ways of the Most High. They don't even know they're Israelite. They don't know who they are. You know, we got all. That's why they say we're bywords now. We're, excuse my language. We're niggas. We're coons. We're African Americans. We're everything but Hebrews and Israelites. They don't care when we start calling each other all these other things, but once we start calling ourselves Israelites, it's a problem. Start trying to come together and get together to start building instead of coming together and start arguing about everything. It's a problem. I'm telling you, we become dangerous when we start trying to build with each other. So, like you just read reference to the scriptures earlier about when they went back and tried to start building, what was happening? All of them cats around there started throwing salt on it, trying to keep them from building. They didn't want them coming back in there. They know once we get together, it's a problem. But see, too many of us are taken up in these doctrines that are not founded on scripture. They're founded on 501c3s or whatever, on donations from everybody. They don't have the gumption to go in and go tell people, look, man, the kingdom is just not for you. It's not for everybody. The man that wants to be a woman, the kingdom is not for that man. The man that wants to be, that wants to do all this wickedness and stuff, the kingdom is just not for that man. This is for the man that wants to be set apart, that wants to be holy, that wants to be righteous and walk in the ways of the Most High. The kingdom is for that man, whether he be
a Hebrew, as you waxing poetically long there.
I apologize.
No, you fine. No, I'm not saying it in a bad way because I do it myself. I'm just cutting in. That's all that is.
Okay.
So when I describe what Israel has looked like in their captivity, my point is Israel has had to serve strangers in their lands. And what I'm saying is that not all Israelites hate the land of their captivity, because many have not only become wealthy, but many of them have passed on generational wealth. Many of them, like for those, as an Israelite right now, since you did identify yourself as one earlier, are you a child of the captivity? Would you consider yourself still in captivity to your enemies? Are you in your enemy's land, like Leviticus chapter 26?
I'm very much so in the land of captivity, right? I'm in the land of captivity. Now, all the customs and the things I have come to understand that are not according to the ways of the Most High, I've given those things up. So I
No,
am
no,
no
that's
longer.
fine. No, that's fine. So look at what your captivity looks like. Your captors or your enemies, like Leviticus 26 says, you'll be in your enemy's land, and you shall waste away in your iniquity, and the land of your enemies will eat you up. Your enemies, by law, aren't forcing you to not have your belief. They're not chasing you down saying if you don't have a certain religious belief, we'll kill you. That's not happening to you, bro. You ain't in no kind of danger like that whatsoever. Your biggest problem might be with your family members who don't rock with your decision to be how you are. And you might argue with friends and co-workers and people who you've known all your life, way more than some government official being on your neck because because you've decided I'm not going to deal with certain customs in this land. So what I'm
Okay.
pointing out is the condition of your captivity. You have to be honest that that's your captivity, sir.
No, so as yeah, being part of captive amongst God's chosen people, right? That He has His own laws, right? So part of His law says that when a man like dresses as a woman, or a man does lay lies with another man, that there is something that's supposed to happen to these two people, right? According to the way what God says, they're not, and they're both supposed to be put to death. Can we agree on that according to God's word?
In God's land, that may have been something, but God never gave that law to all nations. He just said, he said in Amos, I've never had this, I've never known no other nation. So no other nation was under these laws. Now, if those nations came to your sovereign land when the Israelites had it and they would do certain things that could get them death, then yeah, in your land you had that right. Just like me or you. Wait, hold on, I'm not finished. Hebrew, if me or you go to the Philippines and me and you, and let's just say you was trying to get money and you just sold somebody 2 or 3 grams of crack, or I sold somebody a half a pound of weed. Do you know me and you could get 10 to 20 years in prison or possibly death in that land according to their law, even though you ain't got to worry about probably that severe penalty here in the United States?
Right.
So
Yes.
when you point to what you said, I'm answering your question as honest as I can. Yes, but Yahweh did not send that codified law system to every nation on the earth. He let them do what they was doing. He put Israel under that. And whoever came into Israel's land would have to be subject to that.
Now, I never said that He sent it and gave it to everybody. What
No,
I said,
I didn't say you did. I just said I'm just being very detailed.
we're still building. We're still trying to build right here, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to get this, and I don't want to get we start having strife with one another. We still trying to build and trying to come to reason about what's going on right
Oh yeah, that's what's happening. It's clean though. Hey,
now.
bro, I'm passionate and it just is what it is. But don't feel offended. I'm not offended by you. I'm enjoying this. That's why we still building. Yo, you doing everything correct, homie.
Thank
You
you.
ain't did nothing foul.
I very much appreciate it. So what I was saying was we're talking about this captivity now. We're in this land. So in this land, we cannot do the things in this land that the Most High says are supposed to be done, because this land is not governed by the Most High's people. This land is governed by these outside nations, by these unholy, these unsevered people, right? His nation is supposed to be severed. And when in the coming kingdom, when he talks about his kingdom coming, when all the earth is going to be cleansed again, is when his nation is actually running everything again, because they're really going to be the only ones here. It's going to be them, and then everybody else is really outside of the people that from all these other nations that are going to be in there as servants. There's not going to be no other outside people to, for them to be going around and be having to contend with. That's what Christ is coming back to deal with all of that stuff. So all I'm saying, that's part of the captivity, is that we cannot. So if I go out and I say, well, I'm supposed to go out and go do, the Most High says when two men lie together, this is what we're supposed to do to them. And if I know these two men lie together, I'm supposed to do something to them according to the ways of the Most High. But if I what the book says, but if I do that to these men in this land, then that's gay bashing, or or whatever. I'm a murderer because I'm not. You're not supposed to do that. Over here, it's celebrated. Where the Most High said you're supposed to kill people for doing that. They over here, what once was a crime, now they say, oh, it's they're encouraging your children to do it. They're encouraging you.
Hey, Hebrew, where you're going, technically, I understand where you are, but I think you deviating from the reason I even brought up that context. So let me ask you this: you've repented from sin. You believe in Yeshua of Nazareth as the Messiah, or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so you repented of his and you repented in his name for sins and confessed your sins to Yahweh or whatever, and you've been baptized in his name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, be honest. Have you done anything in your life that would have got you put to death in the land of Israel?
Yeah, I'm certain of it. Yeah.
Okay, so guess what? The only reason you're alive is because Yahweh put you somewhere where, under their customs and laws, they don't put you to death. So all I'm telling you is the same mercy you've been granted to live to the you did something, and I'm pretty sure it was prayerfully before you became a believer. You got some stuff on your jacket that would have earned you a young trip to Sheol in the land of Israel, or as the book of Hebrews say, under Moses you would have died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. So if that's the case, and I'm just for the record, me too, bro, like a little bit more than I would like to admit sometimes, but I believe it's in the past and I've truly been forgiven in Christ for those things. So if me and you are the same in that, then what I'm saying is, even though what you're saying might be true, hey, that's in Yahweh's hand because he put me and you here and we don't live, we don't, not that we got away with it in Yahweh's sight, but you and I are alive and breathing today. And the same people who you saying accept them things, they accepted when me and you did it too. And ain't none of our neighbors, nor the police, nor the Supreme Court or the President of the United States put us in our grave for it. So that just is what it is. But I want to take you somewhere right quick. I want to take you to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29. I'm gonna take you to Deuteronomy 29, and I would like you to respond, and then I want to take you to one more text, and then I want to go to somebody in the queue because I see I got somebody on. I see it's a brother named True Israel who had his hand up over on Clubhouse, and the Clubhouse family is listening in too. But a Hebrew, I hope this ain't your last time coming back, bro. When we do this on Friday nights, I would love if you come back when we open the floor for discussion because you about it. I like this. We ain't got to agree on everything, but it's all good. I appreciate it.
Very much appreciated, bro. Appreciate it.
So in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, right? When you go to the book of Deuteronomy, we got the children of Israel separating themselves, right? Check this out. So it says here, it says, this is Deuteronomy 27:1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day, and it shall be on the day when you pass over Jordan to the land which Yahweh your Elohim give you, you shall set up great stones and plaster them with plaster. And you shall write upon them all the words of this law when you are passed over, that you may go in unto the land which Yahweh your Elohim giveth you, a land that flows with milk and honey, as Yahweh thy Elohim promised thy fathers. I'm sorry, as Yahweh the Elohim of thy fathers have promised thee. Therefore it will be when you go over Jordan, that you shall set up these stones, which I command you this day, in Mount Ebal, thou shalt plaster them with plaster. And there thou shalt build an altar unto Yahweh thy Elohim, an altar of stones. Thou shalt not lift up any iron tool. And then in verse 8, he says, you shall write upon the stones all the words of this law very plainly. It says, and Moses and the priest the Levites spake unto all Israel, saying, take heed and hearken, O Israel. This day thou art become the people of Yahweh thy Elohim. You shall therefore obey the voice of Yah thy Elohim to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command you. And Moses charged the people the same day, saying, these shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people when you are come over Jordan. Simeon and Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. And these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And then all the men of Israel, along with the Levites, they spoke this curse, right, good brother? Now, when you go to chapter 28, once that curse was spoken and you enter this covenant with Yahweh, this is where the curse for, if you keep these words, this is all the blessing, verses 1 through 15. If you break these words and don't keep them, these are the punishments. That's verses 16 to 68. Now, when you go to chapter 29, bro, look at this. Verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which Yahweh commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Now, look at this. So he's going to speak, and I want to get down to what I think is an important part. So Moses said this in verse 9: keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, that you may prosper in all that you do. You stand this day, all of you, before Yahweh your Elohim, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers with all the men of Israel, your little wives, I'm sorry, your little ones, your wives, and the stranger that is in your camp, from the cutter of your wood to the drawer of your water, that you should enter into covenant with Yahweh thy God and into his oath, which the Lord thy God make with thee this day. Verse 14, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that stands here with us today before Yahweh our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. So in this setting up of the covenant and the blessings of obedience and disobedience, it's clear that the men of Israel, their tribes, the captains of the tribes and the elders and the men of Israel were in it. But he said, your children, your wives, and the strangers with you, we're not only making this covenant with you, but with him who is here with us today too, before Yahweh, our Elohim. So in the beginning, when Israel entered into this covenant, the stranger, the non-Israelite, stranger here is impossible to be anyone other than someone outside of Israel. These are non-Israelites, because remember, you got the mixed multitude with them as well. Are they in the beginning? Were they entered into Yahweh's covenant with the Israelites in the wilderness before they crossed into the land with Joshua?
They're entered in the same way as like the servants. Like he said, when you read the verse, he said that the servant that is within your gate, whether it be from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. These other people that were there with the Israelites were there as servants. You were not getting people that were coming into the Israelite camp and then coming in like, oh, we're gonna set up shop and start doing our own thing, open up a liquor store right here and do this and that. No, these people had to come in as servants, and there were certain things that these people could not do. So when you go and read and know the story, you understand that all these servants that were there, they were there to serve. They were not there to come and bring their own form of interpretation of rulership or justice or any of that. They were
No, that's fine. No, I agree with you. And I don't have a problem with the word servitude. I'm just careful to know when I'm using it, it's going to be clear to people that you're not a second class person. You're just under our authority. You coming into our inheritance. But right. Yahweh also told the Israelites, you're strangers in the land with me. He said the land is mine and you're strangers and foreigners in it with me. Isn't that what he told them?
The Israelites were strangers in their own land. That was their land originally. The land that they were strangers in was originally.
No. What I'm saying is Yahweh said, the land is mine. And when I'm bringing you into it, you're strangers with me. So Yahweh, the land belongs to Yahweh. He brings Israel to himself as his servant. Now, when Israel gets the land, other people join unto Israel and they become servants. What I'm saying is Israel in the land is Yahweh's servant, and the other people become Yahweh's servants by serving Israel.
Yeah,
Israel is a servant in the land. You do know that Yahweh said that to them, right?
I see what you're saying, right? I see what you're saying. But what it all boils down to is that a part of these covenants, there's different levels to this covenant, right? There's this coming kingdom, there's this promise of this land, there's these inheritors, there's these servants. So all of this stuff has to play out. So everybody's going to have a part of where they belong pertaining to these covenants. Now, it doesn't say all Gentiles or all natural heathens are going to make it into these kingdoms. No, it is going to be the ones that cleave unto the house of Jacob. They're going to be the ones that know, that understand the scriptures, can identify who these chosen people are, that listen, and the Lord is going to put the spirit in them of understanding to where they can hear these things. And like he says, my sheep know my voice. They're going to hear these things and they're going to believe them. Right.
No, and I ain't got no problem. Hey, bro, I don't have no problem with that. What I'm saying is I'm just pointing out the fact look at, instead of going to point to they're going to be servants, because you keep harping on that. That's clear. I'm just asking, did they enter into the covenant with Yahweh on the same day Israel did? That's all. What they are is what they are. That's fine. Shoot, the women in Israel were servants to their husbands, but yet, hey, their children serve them.
Right. So
That's
people are
cool.
going to possessions, right? So that's their part of it. That's what we're talking about. They're in the covenant. That's how they're in the covenant as possessions, as part of this covenant. They're coming into
Well,
the.
this is hey, bro. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Hebrew. It seems like, in a sense, even though I hear what you're saying, there's something in you that can't let go of making that particular point. So if that's the case, then let me ask you this. Hold on. Here we
I
go.
just want to be very clear that the covenant belongs to the covenant. The promises are belong to Israelites,
The
right?
promise is no,
Right.
that particular promise of that land belongs to Israelites, but that is not the only promise God made. God made promises with the Israelites, but then God made a promise to the nations too. Now, I'll ask you this: when God told the nation of Israel when they were coming out with Moses, He said, "As you go into this land and you come across Edom and Moab, who are your brothers, you shall not look to take 1 foot of their land from them, for that is their inheritance. I gave it to them." Did God give the Edomites and them their land way before Israel came in to get theirs? And Yahweh said, "Don't even look to try to take nothing from them because that's what I gave them." That don't mean the Edomites were not the servants of Israel. Moab and Ammon were not servants of Israel. They were sovereign people with their own territories that Yahweh told the Israelites, "Don't even look over there like I'm giving you that. I'm giving you Canaan." Is that true?
Right.
Okay, so now the thing is this. Look at this text right here, brother. Because when you talk about when you talk about people being strangers, I want to ask you something, and I want you to be honest. Maybe you don't see this the way I see it. That's why I want you to be honest. And if you do see it the way I see it, I just want you to be honest. So check this out. Leviticus 25 and verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which you shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them you shall buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession. And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, you shall not rule over one another with rigor. The bondmen and bondmaids here are from the strangers that live among the Israelites, right?
Right.
Now, when you buy them, who are you buying them from?
Well, what they were supposed to do was when they had these children. The children of Israel, they had the Jubilee, where every 7 years these the men that were in servitude were given their freedom. They were allowed to go free. But if
Mhm.
the servants wanted to stay, if they wanted to stay servants to the because they loved their master, and that's what you read about. That's they used to flip this up when the blacks was slaves and when they made black slaves in America. But he said if he loved his master, that he could pretty much sell himself and stay with his master, and he'd have to get a board through his ear, I believe, or some parties, I think it was his ear or something, and or around, I forget what it was, but he was after if he wanted to stay, he could stay and he could be his masters forever because him being there, I believe the children that he had and like his wife and all of that, they were the masters.
Oh, the Israelite.
Right, they belong to the
Now,
master.
but you know this is what's interesting. You do know that that woman didn't have to be a stranger woman. That could be a Hebrew woman. You know that Hebrew women didn't go out like the men did after 7 years. You know that, right?
Say it again.
Hebrew women did not leave after 7 years like Hebrew males in the law. Did you know that?
What do you mean Hebrew women did not leave? What do you mean?
If you had a Hebrew, you know how it said you can take a bondman and bondmaids from the stranger, but your
Right,
brother who is a Hebrew, you shall not do that to him. They had to be let go after the 7th year, right?
right.
Hebrew. You do know if you got a Hebrew woman that she did not go out like the males did. She didn't leave after 7 years. You know that?
No, I'm not familiar with that part.
Oh, you not? Oh, okay, hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me get that text right quick. And you know what? Maybe this will reprove me. Maybe I'm actually saying it wrong. Maybe I just wanted to say that, brother. So we can find out.
For see what the script say.
No, that's what's up. No, we should do that. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Let me find that. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on, bro. Yes, that's what I wanted. Okay. Hold on. I can't remember the text, so I had to put it in the word search right quick. Let me find it right quick, bro. Here we go. Exodus, is that what I'm looking for? Okay. Okay, Exodus 21. Is this it? Hold on. And if you no, I think this was the one you said, right? If you buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the seventh he shall go free. So you brought a Hebrew servant. Now, does that mean somebody sold you the Hebrew, or does that mean the Hebrew possibly sold himself to you as well?
Well, the Hebrew could go and they could go, and if you kept reading what the verse you just read brought up in Leviticus, if you keep reading a little bit, it explains that a little bit about it. But the
Oh,
Hebrew,
no, that's fine. No, I know what it says, but because I don't know you, I'm just asking your opinion. You've read this many times. Did Hebrews get sold by somebody, or did they sell themselves?
yeah, they would sell themselves is what was going on. They would
Okay,
offer.
so do you think when it says, and when the text we just read, you shall buy of the strangers, did strangers were they just sold to you because they were slaves to somebody else, or did it mean the same thing it mean here? If you buy a Hebrew, if you believe that a Hebrew could sell himself, could a stranger sell himself to you?
No, because the Hebrews couldn't buy the Hebrews, right? They couldn't put in the type of servitude. He said he couldn't do this type of rigor that they were given to these strangers.
So what
But
does it mean here in verse 2 if you buy a Hebrew?
verse 2.
Yeah, in verse 2 of Exodus 21 and 2. I'm sorry, I didn't even call it text, did I? My bad, bro. Exodus 22 and 21 and 2 is what I read. If you buy a Hebrew, 6 years shall he serve. What does it mean that you bought a Hebrew?
And the seventh he shall go out free for nothing.
Yes. But the buy, that's what I'm focusing on. What does it mean to buy a Hebrew?
To put him into servitude.
Yes, but does that mean the Hebrew was sold to you by somebody else, or did the Hebrew sell himself?
No, he would, in this particular instance, they would sell themselves.
Okay, so do you think that strangers sold themselves to Israelites as well?
Nobody was coming and selling Hebrews to other Hebrews, right? That,
Okay,
that wasn't what was going on. You had, if it tells you if your brother was doing bad and he needed help, and he needed to some money or to do something, he could go and go lend his services, if you will, to whoever the bidder was, right?
but wait, hold on, bro. You do know sometimes that Hebrew families would like sell their daughters to another Hebrew if they were poor, because the girl being the servant would get the family money.
I don't know about all that.
Wait, hold on. Then here we go. Verse 7. Exodus 21 and 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. So who is this talking about? If she please not her master, who have betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power.
So who was this? Who was the strangers, and what are they talking about?
This is
The master, not right. Abraham was the man. He was Eliezer's master, right?
right.
Abraham is not. You never hear about Hebrews being the master of other Hebrews. These are specifically talking about.
Well,
These
they
are
weren't their masters forever, but while they were their servants, they were their masters temporarily. And,
simply
and we know that because, wait, hold on. We know that because in verse, for the male Hebrew, it says in verse 4, if his master have given him a wife. So no, and then the Hebrew servants say plainly, I love my master, my wife, and my children. I will not go out free. An Israelite had the choice to make himself a lifelong servant.
So
The
what are we?
strangers just didn't have this choice.
So what are we trying to get at here?
So the point is that the way you're looking at the stranger being Israel's servants, I'm telling you that Hebrews themselves wind up being servants similarly, but the rigor that people read there, it's like, yo, you could treat them foul. When it says you shall not, it's not saying that you shall treat strangers like trash who serve you for life. It's saying the rigor is because the Hebrew is in his own land, even if he sold himself to you and you became his master, that has to be temporary.
Yeah,
But
so I'm
but
I'm to
but
believe.
but if he decided, I'm not trying to leave, that Hebrew could say by his own freedom he was going to be a servant for life to that fellow Hebrew. But that was his choice to do so. You see that? The stranger didn't have that choice of freedom, but it's a lie to say an Israelite couldn't be a servant for life. But because he's in the land of his fathers and his inheritance, when he sold himself to you, possibly after 6 years, then on that 7th year, you let him go out free, and he don't owe you nothing. He's debt free. But if he had you, he was with you. He done got him a wife. He done had kids. They're yours, even though they're from his loins. And if he like, man, look, I love my master and my family, I ain't leaving. Then they went through a ritual, and after that ritual, that Israelite is a servant for the rest of his life to a fellow Hebrew. Servant. Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about right now.
That's something we could be, bring up on a whole nother topic or something, man. Maybe discuss that further in depth. But as far as these covenants, not, and what you keep saying is like you're talking about like the rigor and whatnot. Like, I'm not one of these guys that believe the Israelites was out there stomping out their servants, hanging them from trees,
Yeah, that would be a case by case thing. I don't think Israelites was
marks on mark, what they was commonly doing to the Negro that was over, the so-called Negro that was over here in America. So these servants loved Israelites. They, for the part of the reason that they loved them so much is because they understood, they knew the God, they believed in the God that they served. They had seen the works that he had done he had done these works in these other nations, and Eliezer, for instance, was there with Abraham through a multitude of things that God had done for Abraham while he was traveling through, being a vagabond in these lands, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
just somebody just popping up and just saying, "Oh, you know what? I feel like I'm supposed to just be here with you." No, these are people that were tried, that were tested, that had been around, that had seen things, heard things, and had a belief down in their bones that these are the people of God, and that's really what they believe, and they went there to be a part of that through those people. The same way now that we as Israelites have to come in and be a part of, to get to the Most High, we have to go through the mediator, which is Christ, right? So there's
Okay.
no Gentile, no natural Gentile is going to be able to come in and be like, you know what, I'm just going to cut the way the scriptures say it and skip the covenants, and I'm just going to have a relationship with the Most High. That's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that all these Gentiles, all of these people from all these other nations, the only way that they have access to even get to Jesus is first they have to come through they have to be these servants to the children of Israel. They have to accept that role first. They think they're coming in and they think that they're just going to be all this kumbaya and I love Jesus and then he knows my heart type of deal going on. And that's not what the scriptures say.
Well, they're not. Well, brother, they're not going to enter into relationship no different than Israel did. Just as Peter said in Acts 15, he said they have been given the same grace. We are all saved. We all come into. Ain't no Israelite under the new covenant, at least.
Ask the question right quick.
Let me finish for a second. Ain't no Israelite under the new covenant got no relationship with Yahweh in a different way than a Gentile. That ain't working. You could be all circumcised, all up in your man part. Your fringes can hang to the ground. And if you don't do the same thing that the Gentile got to do in Christ, you ain't got nothing coming, bro. Your bloodline is going to be held against you because at the end of the day, you just going to be an Israelite in hell.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with all that, but can I ask you, how do we have a relationship? How do we come into having a relationship with the Most High? What is that about?
We come into having a relationship with the Most High by believing that he revealed his son who he promised. Now, remember, when you ask this question, if you're going to talk about the gospel, all nations will be blessed in Abraham. Guess what? Do you know what nation didn't exist when Abraham was told that? The nation of Israel. So even all his children, the Ishmaelites, the Midianites, and others besides the Israelites who eventually come out of Isaac, all of them are blessed through Abraham. I think that go over people's heads. That might go over your head too. When God said that in Genesis 12, hold on. When God said that in Genesis 12, what nations would not be blessed in Abraham? Isn't the nation of Israel itself the first one that's blessed because of Abraham? He said all nations of the earth or all families of the earth will be blessed in you, Abraham. Isn't Israel the first one that's blessed in Abraham?
I mean, not necessarily, because Abraham was already nations was pretty much being blessed as Abraham was walking around. You know, good things was happening to other people that was around Abraham already.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You know what? That's a good catch. So, for instance, like when the like the particular Amorite warlords who was Abraham's friends, and they went and got Lot with him. You
Right.
saying they would be blessed because they blessed Abraham?
Right. They was
And
right.
But who blessed them though? God, right?
Would bless them. Yeah, they'd be blessed.
Right.
Most High would bless them. So them would be people like that, you know, like Abraham. He told Abraham, he said, I'm gonna bless him that bless you, and I'm gonna curse him that curse you. And it's just that simple.
You think
right?
they served Abraham? Do you think those Amorites served Abraham?
I mean, no, not to the degree like to where Abraham snapped his fingers and told him go do this and go do that, but in the sense that they, you know, when we went and rescued Lot, you know, and all those had to take him back from those 5 kings or whatever from them other nations. They all understood what their relationship was with Abraham. None of them was over there trying to pull rank on Abraham or talking about, you know, this the way we're gonna do it and this the way it's gonna be done. They understood that Abraham was blessed through the Most High.
Yeah, they wanted to be his friends, actually.
Right. They didn't even want. They said, take all the stuff, just give us back to people. Like Abraham didn't want nothing from them. No, he didn't ask them for anything.
No. I'm not talking about the leaders of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm talking about the cats who went with him to even help the kings of Sodom get their stuff back. It was 3 Amorite warlords. They were Amorites. They were warlords, and they were Abraham's friends. So they put, while Abraham had 318 servants in his house, I'm going to argue that Amorites, the 3 brothers from the plains of Eshcol, they served Abraham in that moment, even though they weren't his perpetual servants. They served him by teaming up with him to get his nephew back. So sometimes people serve you just by doing good to you, not that they might necessarily be like the servants in your house, right?
The scriptures say he was confederate with these other, you know, these people around him and whatnot, right? Like these was all his partners. He was cool with all of these people. So
let me ask you this. Do you perceive that in the new heaven and the new earth, what some people might call the millennial kingdom, that all the nations of the earth, whoever don't live literally inside of Israel's land, they're going to be just like those Amorites were. They're going to be confederate with the nation of Israel. Whatever Israel need, any nation on earth will give them. But those nations are sovereign. Israel ain't going to other people, countries, ruling them. Israel is the head. Let me ask you this. When in Deuteronomy 28, what made Israel the head of nations? Them fighting war and conquering other nations, or them being obedient to the covenant of Yahweh?
And that's what I was wanting to ask you. How do you get into a relationship right there? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? By being obedience, right? You have to have obedience, right? Like, so anybody that's going to come into any part of these covenants, the first step they're going to have to do is they're going to have to be in obedience to what the word of the Most High actually says. You can't come in, sidestep this covenant and sidestep that covenant and put a little sugar on top of this one and say, you know, he just love everybody because you don't like to read, or you really can't grasp the story. You have to be able to prove these things. The scriptures tell you, to be able to prove these things. When somebody asks you a question, you should be able to answer a man according to what the scripture says, not according to what the pastor says, or not according to what you heard, but what you can actually pick up a Bible and go and show somebody what the scriptures actually say. That's how we prove one another, by going based on thus saith the Lord. right? So we're supposed to be iron sharpening iron based on what these scriptures actually say. That's why I'm saying when, you know, like we get into stuff and we start talking about stuff, and it's just mind boggling to me how you could read over and over and over that the covenants for Israel, the covenants for them and their children, for the seed, for them, for the covenant with their fathers. It says over and over and over and over and over and over again how these covenants are only for Israel and for these children. I've explained to you how these other people, these other nations are going to be put inside of that covenant as part of a possession of that covenant. That's like, you know, the most simplest way I can explain it. But, you know, when you go into the story unfolds as you read from Genesis and keep going on chronologically, it starts laying out all of this stuff, you know, the way it's going to happen, the way it has to be. So somebody that actually reads these things and takes notes and says, you know what, this has to happen, this has to happen, they make a checklist. When somebody starts going against that checklist, and somebody that knows what the checklist should be or the things that are supposed to be on that checklist, it's going to raise a red flag, and people are going to say, hold on, man, that's not actually in there. So that's why I go and I ask somebody, can you show me? Where is that at in the scripture? Which is why when we first started, I said, can anybody show me with the Bible where all these Gentiles, when and where are they actually brought into the covenants? So now we've gone through and we've seen that these Gentiles, they're in the covenants, they're in there. But how are they there? Are they there as like 1A and 1B, where, you know, we equally going to be equal with these people who the inheritance is for? Or no? Are they they're there, but they're part of this covenant is as part of a possession of this covenant. They're there to serve these people. So that's the way it plays out. And I can't take that and twist that any other kind of way to say that then people who are supposed to be servants are now going to be there as the inheritors. I'd be making the scriptures a lie. You understand?
Hey brother, what we'll do here, I'm gonna let you go because of course I got other people, and I actually said that 20 minutes ago, but you was doing so good in my opinion that I let it go longer. I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I think that as you continue to grow in the text, because believe me, and this might sound arrogant, and maybe it is, there ain't no text you read that I ain't broken down, homie. I've been an Israelite. I've been identifying as a Hebrew Israelite since 1996, my guy. How old are you, bro?
I was born in 80, so.
You was born in 80, so you about probably 42, something like that, maybe?
43.
So you ain't too far behind me in age.
Yeah.
I've been identifying as an Israelite for 26, 27 years, brother. And what I'm telling you is that everything you're saying, and it's not that I disagree with all of it, but I think that you're leaving some things out in order to make that point, and you're refusing to see that Israel's covenant was given to them for their land. And whoever comes into their land, they will abide by what God gave Israel. Now, this is the thing. Israel never forced strangers to come into their covenant. A stranger could live in Israel's land and not be in that covenant. It was certain laws they couldn't break, but they still weren't under the covenant, brother, which is why the Lord said, if in Exodus 12, even when it came to the Passover, he said, look, a stranger or a foreigner can't eat the Passover. Now, look at this. This is not a servant. He said, the only stranger that shall eat is the one who is brought with your money or born in your house. But then look at this. He said, but if a stranger comes to you and says, I will keep the Passover, if he's willing to circumcise himself and all the men of his house, then you let him come near and keep the Passover, and you treat him just like he's an Israelite born. That man who is a stranger in your land is not a servant you own. Just like the Rechabites. When Moses, let me ask you this. You would say that Moses did not own his father-in-law Jethro, right?
No.
So that means, let me ask you this: did the nation of Israel own Jethro when they came out of Egypt?
Did they own Jethro? No,
Yeah,
not.
did they own Jethro?
No, they did not.
So look at this here. I want to show you something right quick. And I'm just showing this to you, and I'll give you a chance to respond, and I'm gonna let you go. Because people are putting other texts in the chat. I see Clubhouse, I see other places. Hey, our brother is where he is, and I respect it. And I'm gonna say this to everybody listening. Some of y'all probably would have not been able to get this far in the conversation, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to be an adversary. I'm not here defending myself. I'm here defending the text. So I personally, unless somebody trying to come at me a certain way, my feelings ain't even involved in this. So if he disagrees with some points I'm making, y'all, it's sweat off my back because I'm not defending my doctrine. I'm defending the text and how I see it. So when the next man tells you how he sees it and he's consistent, you either accept it or you don't. But I think sometimes because of how we personally feel, our patience runs out. Well, guess what? I love this brother. So I'm hoping against hope that he would see some things my way. But if he don't, that's cool. If he come back again, he gonna get the same kind of smoke from me. Everybody can learn to do well. We all approach this thing, but yet if Yeshua was like some of us were, that man wouldn't have went to the cross for us. You know why? Because his patience would have ran thin with Israelite Negroes and their doctrines and their traditions. This man is dying on a damn stick, and the last thing he say is, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. Meaning if somebody just changed later after his death, he left open the space for the Father to forgive him because when he said it, he meant it. I hope you hear what the Spirit saying to the church. So, hey, I'm going to share this text with you, bro, and I really want to see how you might take this. So look at this, good brother. I want to show you because I asked you that question about Jethro, right? So look at this here. In the book of no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go to this one. I ain't gonna take you to Jeremiah. I'm gonna take you to the source. I'm gonna take you to the Father. Hold up for a second, bro. I just want to bring this text up. Be patient with me. Okay, so this is Moses. And Moses is going to ask his brother-in-law. Now, this is his wife's brother. Moses had married. Well, I mean, of course you do. Jethro was his father-in-law because he married his daughter, Zipporah, correct?
Right.
So when Moses gets ready to go when the Israelites, are about to go into the land, Moses actually approaches somebody. Now, the scripture tells us this is funny. Moses took the counsel of his father-in-law, who is from the flesh and blood line of Midian, who is Abraham's firstborn son with Keturah. So these are Abraham's children according to the flesh, but they're not from the promised seed of Isaac. But I want you to see something that Moses actually said, and this is interesting because Jethro, after he told Moses, "Hey man, you doing too much, bro. You might actually want to set up people to help you," and this, that, and the third. The Khazal of the nation of Israel was, the Khazal of the nation of Israel was actually set up under the advice of Moses' father-in-law. That's interesting. So it wasn't like Moses had a dream and Yahweh said, "Do this." It seems that Moses actually told Moses actually followed the advice of his Midianite father, who was a priest. Do you accept that Moses set up the elders of the tribes after the Midianite priest, his father-in-law, gave him that advice?
Yeah, but he wasn't a priest of Israel, his Midianite father. But yeah,
No,
he
that's
was.
fine. I'm just asking you, is that what he did? He ain't got to be he's a Midianite priest. That's clear.
Well, he did give him that advice. He went because he told he was worried about Moses. If I'm not mistaken, he was worried about Moses, that he was going to be overworked or something like that, and he told him to start delegating it out to where he'd be captains of 50 or whatever, and hundreds or something like that, so that they could handle the smaller matters, and they would bring the bigger matters to Moses to delegate, because he was taking so much time having to deal with all of these things. So,
okay. So now check this out. That's fine. Numbers 10 and 29, it says, "And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Raguel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law." So this is Moses' brother-in-law and his people. Look at what Moses say to his brother-in-law, who is a Midianite. "We are journeying unto the place which the Lord said." I'm sorry, I lost my place. Oh, here we go. We are journeying unto the place which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come thou with us, and we will do you good. For Yahweh have spoken good concerning Israel. And he said to him, no, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my people. Moses said, leave us not, I beg you. For as much as you know how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and you may be to us instead of eyes. And it shall be, if you go with us, it shall be that what goodness the Yahweh does to us, the same we will do to you. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days journey. So he went. He's like, no, man, I'm gonna go back to my country. Moses begged his brother-in-law. So these Midianites, brother, were invited to go. They weren't Israel's, they weren't owned by any tribe. How do you look at that, King? He said the good that Yahweh do to us, that goodness will do to you. So however, and I want you to be careful, because whatever you gonna say that means, please explain it with what was Yahweh's good to Israel. And Moses said, whatever Yahweh does for us, we will do for you. Go ahead, you got it.
So yeah, I believe exactly what the scriptures say. So the same brothers that he's asking to go in, they still would they if they were to partake in the Passover, would they be able to skip the skip the getting circumcision and doing all these things that it says is necessary for them to partake in the Passover? No, they would still be bound by the same the same rules that are laid forth, no matter who they were. If they're still considered strangers, they're not part of the children of Israel. That the rules are already laid out for how they would be able to partake into this.
Wait, hold on. No, Hebrew. Have you ever heard of pastor offering? You know who pastor offering is?
No, for me.
Well, he's a great prophet, and he said, "Don't ask, no questions." You cannot ask me a question and then answer it for me and use that as an answer to my question. I asked you. We just read. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I just asked you. We see here Moses got Midianite family members. So these are non-Israelites. Moses believes they're about to go in. We're going to read a little later that Yahweh wind up turning them back into the wilderness because of what happened with the 12 spies. But Moses is under the impression, hey, we about to go into the land. So Moses asks these Midianites, yo, come with us, bro. He like, no, man, I'm gonna go back to my land. Moses said, I'm begging you, stay with us, bro. You know where we gotta go in this wilderness, and because you're familiar with it, you'll be eyes for us. Now, I can say in that way, they're gonna serve the whole nation by guiding the nation through the wilderness. And Moses said, Yahweh has promised us good when we come to this land. And whatever good he does for us, we will do that good to you. Explain those strangers. And what is Moses saying right there, bro?
They're gonna be good if Israel when Israel is good. I know you're not telling me like Moses is telling them now that oh, don't even trip, bro. Like you're gonna be equal with us and it's cool. We're gonna just go in and put you on and slide you on in the covenant or something like that. No, you're letting them basically know it's gonna be good. We need y'all, you're gonna be blessed. You come with us, it's gonna be good for you. Because the Most High is taking care of us.
Okay, cool. All right. So, all right, that's what's up, bro. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. You came on tonight. You got it in. I let you stay longer than usual because I was really liking this dialogue. I would say this, bro. Hey, keep doing your thing. Keep studying. And I just pray that you do right before Yahweh. And if you see us on a Friday night with an open discussion, I hope you would join us again, bro. So, I really, that's interesting. And for some of y'all probably would have been done with that convo. But honestly, I'm going to say that I don't really mind it at all because I think that the brother was being sincere and honest with his own mind. See, y'all, it's about his mind. It ain't about me. I really want to thoroughly pick and prod. That's why Josh used to call me Razor Blade. He said, dude, you were like 1,000 cuts. I'm just trying to stab a guy in the heart and get him out of there. And Zay, you want him to bleed out slowly. That's what Josh used to call me in the debate talk for you days. I'm sorry, like everybody know Josh. I'm talking about my bro Josh from ABT. What I'm saying is, if y'all just heard me for about 40 minutes going with that brother, he couldn't even humble himself, even when that was clear, and he see the Israelites don't own those people, but yet they're going to willingly serve Israel if they choose to go. And Moses begged them to go. He couldn't just say, damn, bro, hey, however Yahweh bless Israel, Moses is promising Israel going to treat these people the same way God treat them. And he couldn't leave it there. But if you trying to say Moses is saying like, oh, you could just come in and be equal with us in the covenant, then this, that, y'all, if that's how he see it, that's how he see it. The reason I went that long is because some of y'all who are watching need to know how to be patient and deal with brothers like this. Why? Because they are serious. Y'all think that man was playing? Y'all think the Hebrew was playing this whole time? He not playing. And sometimes because we don't agree, we think we like, oh, you ain't serious. No, he's serious, as I am serious. But it's just that the love in me and the patience in me want to let him know. And put it like this: some of y'all could have did that differently, but you wouldn't have done no better when a man is in his heart where he is. I did that for the audience. I wanted the audience
Speak for yourself, Zayda.
to listen.
Killed
Come on, dog. I want the audience to listen. No, what I'm saying is I ain't talking about how you feel, Ghost. It's all about how he feel. I'm because can't nobody, I don't give a damn what nobody say. Ghost gonna feel like he ain't never, like Ghost said he was Floyd Mayweather, and you know you damn Arturo Gotti at best. You be getting bloodied and bludgeoned, and you just still be fighting, but you claiming you Floyd Mayweather 50 and 0. What the hell wrong with you? but I'm excuse me. Now I'm stressing my voice. I'm coughing. My bad. But Triller Killer, yo, that's funny. He came on and said, I would have got him out of there. The point ain't and getting him out of there. The point is not showing. I actually showing that he really had nowhere to run to make it seem as if what I was saying was falling short. He was making some points that were fair, but in making them points, he's making them in the context. He's not like God. He sees no other use for nations in Israel's presence other than to save them. And the reason, and one thing I was hoping he would say is that Israel, because this is Bible, Israel is the first servant on earth. Israel serves Yahweh. And by serving Yahweh, Israel serves all the rest of the nations. Israel will be a priest to all the rest of the nations. Israel will help all the nations learn what it is to follow Yahweh. But he never put Israel in the servant's role to humanity. All he sees in humanity is something they can do for Israel, but never once said what Israel could do for the nations. It's just like men who see wives as who see women as those who are to take care of them, but you ever hardly hear them mention, and I'm here to serve this woman and take care of her. So it is what it is. But hey, over here on the Clubhouse, salute to y'all, and I'm gonna reset the room right quick. We got a few minutes left to get it in. Welcome to Friday Night Frankincense via the Bible Dojo. If you on Clubhouse listening and this your first time coming in, I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you would come for more. For those of you tapping in through Clubhouse and through Facebook and YouTube, hey, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you become a subscriber to my platforms. So I think I see over on Clubhouse, it's a brother who been crazy patient because I saw his hand up like over a half hour ago. True Israel. Sound like you got something to say because I saw your hand up earlier, bro, and of course it's been down by now.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was a good conversation. I mean, I appreciate it. You and that brother. I came in a little late, but you and that brother, you guys had a good conversation. But you said something that I didn't agree with. You were asking about. You were saying something about we're not in captivity. Did I misunderstand what you were saying?
No, I was asking the brother, did he consider himself as an Israel? Because his name was the Hebrew. So I asked him if he was an Israelite. He said, yes, he identifies. And I said, are you in captivity? And he said, yes, he's a descendant of those in captivity, and he's still in the land of his enemies. So I started to describe what his captivity is looking like right now. That's all.
Yeah, and does it look something similar to what the captivity of Daniel and the three Hebrew boys look? Because they weren't doing like rigorous labor, but they were, and nevertheless they were in captivity. Yet they rose up high in Babylon. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're actually right. They were in captivity. That Daniel chapter 1 actually tells you that these particular from the royal households of Judah, these four were standouts, and they were given to the king, to the master of the eunuchs, to be prepared for 3 years to be educated in the Babylonian system and work in the administration of government. So you're 100% right about how they lived in the captivity. History also teaches us that so many Israelites became wealthy in the Babylonian captivity that when Cyrus gave the decree to go back, and you got the time of Ezra and Nehemiah, the overwhelming majority of the tribe of Judah and Benjamin did not go back to Babylon because they were living very well in Babylon. They didn't go back to Jerusalem.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That makes my point. We similar type of that many of us, we have unique skills that can be used by this system that we're allowed to raise up to certain levels because we have some expertise. But that does not mean that we're not in captivity.
Oh, right. Right. No, I agree. So let me so put it like this. The reason why I was going through that point with him, True Israel, is because when people say the word captivity, especially so-called Hebrew Israelites, I asked them to describe their captivity. Don't run back. Don't bring up the movie Django. Don't bring up 12 Years a Slave. Don't you quote a Frederick Douglass quote. We know that was a time in American captivity for our forefathers and mothers. If you're still in captivity, just describe what it looks like for you personally, how you living. Hey, let me ask you,
for him, it's working a 9 to 5. That's his captivity, apparently.
Trilla quit. A Trilla killer. We do not need your help, sir. I know you and him like to go back and forth. We do not need your help. And you know what? How the hell dare I? I'm sorry, I gotta repent. I can't call you the Trilla killer because you ain't never killed Trilla. That's your own self-proclaimed name. No, you a legend in your own mind. Don't start. You ain't killed. You you better change your name to Zadok Killer then, because everybody know it's a lie straight out the depths of hell. I want to see your go in your PTR right now and change that name. Before this is over, I need to see that name say Zadok Killer and spell Zadok correctly. Spell it the way I spell it. Because you know in all your damn life, you ain't no Zadok. It's Zaydok. Zaydok. I need you to, from now on, be known on Clubhouse as the Zadok Killer. Because you know. I am the Zadok Killer. You know. You. Yo, this dude, you know who you remind me of? Hey, bro, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of my cousin, one of my cousins, who swear he can hoop, and every time we at the court we trashing, but he never don't show up to play with his little Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls 1993 short set on, got the headband. Jay's clean. We like, yo, Jay's too clean. You know you ain't played in those yet. He swear because he dressed like Jordan, he about to get it in, and we thrashing every time, and he still show up like he that boy.
I just want to know how True is in captivity and he can go out and go in and come out as he pleases.
What? Hey, hold on. That's a great question. Go ahead, True. Can you answer Ghost's question? Because that's a fair question. Go ahead.
I said our captivity now is similar to what Daniel's when they released.
Yeah, but that Daniel is a special exception.
Why is he always interfere? He always cuts people off.
Because you scared.
No,
Trilla, a special exception. He was literally grafted straight.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Ghost. Hey, Ghost. Hey, Ghost. On this platform, when somebody talk, bro, you can't necessarily interrupt them. You got to give them a chance to land clean, because I ain't gonna let them do it to you. But I want him to answer that, because I think that was a fair question. That was a fair proposal you put on the table. Go ahead, True Israel.
It is, and I'm explaining. I'm saying like just like Daniel. Daniel rose up in the Babylonian Empire in Nebuchadnezzar, but he was still, nevertheless, he didn't say that he wasn't in captivity. Now you would say that somebody like Trilla might say, Trilla Killer, he might say, well, Daniel, show me how you're in captivity. You get the finest apparel. You're getting all this. He's probably sleeping in the best place. You get the finest, house. How are you in captivity? He would say the same thing. And totally ignoring that the Most High sent them into captivity. Totally ignoring that.
Okay.
Say, no, you guys are living the high life.
Okay, hold on, True. I want Ghost to respond to that. Ghost, you heard his response?
Okay, so that would be a beautiful point. But when the Israelites first went into Egypt, they weren't captives and they were living in another kingdom that they didn't necessarily have rule over, even though they may have had people who ascended up into that rulership, aka Joseph and whoever may have been a part of the government of Egypt, whoever else. They were living amongst another people while not being in captivity until the Egyptians started to rule over them with rigor. And also, if you read about the history of Rome and the Israelites, you would know that many Israelites, though not being in captivity to Rome, went and lived in Rome, practicing their religion, making many proselytes, and they were thriving and surviving, trading and doing whatever. And then on top of that, you're saying that you're in captivity, maybe because you have to work for this people. The Israelites themselves were servants to other Israelites in the actual kingdom of Israel at all times. So, yeah, you're not in captivity, sir. Your forefathers might have been, but you're not. You know why? Nobody's beating you. Nobody forces you to keep your job. You can vote. You can deal with the politics of this land. If you don't like this land, you can go to another land. You're free to read. You can read, write. You can access the internet. You can go to the grocery store and get whatever food you want. If you want to buy land and grow a field and plant corn and do whatever, and you can do whatever you want. You can sit on your couch and not do nothing for the rest of your life. You could kill yourself if you want to. You could do whatever you want right now in this country for the most part. So you're not in captivity, sir. You're just lying to yourself.
Okay, hold on. Interesting. Yo, True Israel, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, I would take him to I'll take him to Deuteronomy 30. Let's read some scriptures now and stop talking about our own and giving our own imaginations. Deuteronomy 30 says this. This is what the true words of the Most High says. And it shall come to pass that when all these things come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, and thou shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That then the Lord God will turn thy captivity. So he's saying here that these people, they were driven out among the heathen. He says, but then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. So this is the thing. Israel, for them, freedom has always been their own land. Always. It's not been in the land of somebody else, of their enemy. That's why I say, as long as we don't have our own land, you are in captivity because you're under somebody else. Yeah, the Most High always made a way for his people. Read 1 Kings 8 and read the prayer of Solomon. Solomon, who was the wisest of the wise, he outlined, because he tried to look into the future. He said, I'm going to ask the Most High to bless my people, no matter where. So he reads in 1 Kings 48, he says, even if they're in the land of their enemies, I'm going to make a way for them so that their enemies will show compassion upon them. So yeah, this is what's happening. It's no mystery. It's no mystery at all.
Okay. Hey, Ghost, what say you, sir?
Oh yeah, that's easy money. You just read one verse out of Deuteronomy 30. If you actually read all of the curses that's going to be in Deuteronomy chapter 30, I guarantee you every single one of those curses is not plaguing you specifically right now. I promise you it's not. You're not besieged in your gates. You go home and turn the key to your house and nobody's standing out there waiting for you to come out or preventing you from going to get food. So how are you under that curse, sir? Doesn't it say all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee till thou be consumed?
Yeah, but it's not talking about an individual. It's talking about an
over for thou.
By saying it doesn't make it true. Listen, that's talking about a nation, not a person.
I'm just
no, it doesn't. It's talking about the nation of Israel.
I hear you. Your ancestors may have been real quick. Your ancestors may have been under the curses if they was Israelites, but let's not pretend like the slave trade didn't exist thousands of years prior to even the Israelites even having a kingdom. Let's not act like the slave trade didn't continue to exist during the time that the Israelites did have. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Let's not act like the Israelites themselves didn't take people slaves. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm just saying. You saying that you under the curses right now, but I don't know, man. It seemed like you got a pretty good life.
Wait, hold on. Hey, you know what? I think that's a fair point he's making, because I think the point he's making is Joseph and them, you may not necessarily say that when they willingly left Canaan because of the famine, that when they came into Egypt and had Goshen originally, that they were captives in Egypt, even though they were in their enemy's land. You may not say they were in captive.
Enemies at that time.
No, well, I'm saying that land became their enemy's land. So some people say they were in their enemy's land. But but you know what? Hey, I'll stand corrected just for the sake of the point you're making.
But
the Egyptians weren't their enemies.
They ruled over them with rigor, right?
Right. So you're saying that there was a certain time where Egyptians made themselves their enemies.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then, do not Joseph. That's when their captivity began to the Egyptians.
So
it says, "Thou was the stranger." Hold on, real quick, Zadok. It says, "Thou abhor not an Egyptian, for thou was the stranger in his land." The word for stranger there is gar. The definition of the word gar, it means a guest or a welcome stranger. It's the same thing that Abraham was among the Canaanites when he asked to purchase the cave of Machpelah. He was a gar or a guest in the land. How do you treat a guest when they're inside of your house?
Hey, that's fair smoke. That's fair smoke. I think you explained that better than I was going to. So I'm a cede to that point. So the point is that if for those in America, like let's just say America, so we don't talk about every country on the planet, for those who are here as descendants of those who were brought here as chattel, basically his argument is that was a phase of what happened to a majority of our forefathers and mothers when they came here. But that is not your condition. Your condition is more like Joseph and the Israelites. If you want to, you can renounce your American citizenship and you can move to Ghana. If they give you citizenship in Norway somewhere, you could go wherever you want with a passport and renounce your American citizenship like W.E.B. Du Bois. So he's saying that is not a sign of you, or let's say our generation, being in captivity. What would you say to that, True Israel?
Again, I mean, nobody's addressed that what I said earlier. I said that for Israel, true freedom is having their own land. That's what it is. That's why the Most High says he's going to give them their own land. Read Ezekiel 36 and 37. But listen, let me read this in 1 Kings, because Trello, you notice he doesn't bring out any scripture. He's just talking. Let me do let's go to 1 Kings 8, and let's start at verse 46. Because Solomon, the wisest of the wise, he tried to think of every way that he could get the Most High to have compassion on his people. So if I go to 1 Kings 8, and I start at verse 46, if they sin, and let me be clear, the they there is Israel, it says, if they sin against thee, for there is no man not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, and here's a supplication, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart, with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have transgressed against thee, and all their transgressions therein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. So if you read on, Solomon's prayer, it was answered. So we know that the Most High made a way for his people, even in the land of their captivity, for their enemies to have compassion. And many of us are praying this prayer. That's why the enemy has compassion upon us. This is no mystery. I mean, your enemy can have compassion on you, and you can still be captive in their land. This is what Solomon saw. He looked down the wheel of time and he saw this, and he prayed for the Most High for us to have this way out also. Have this way for we can get compassion and forgiveness. Now land right there.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Ghost, I'll let you get a response before I move on, brother. Okay, I hear it.
Yeah, so I mean, the reason why I'm not going to scriptures is because we're having an anecdotal conversation. Meaning a conversation about your life. You are saying in your life that you are under the curses. Okay, that's fine. That's why when I go to scriptures, when you read about the curses, why can't I see them happening in your life or my life or Zadok's life? Has Zadok ever had to eat his children?
Oh, nah.
Zadok, have you ever had to eat your children?
No.
True. Have you ever had to Have you ever had to eat your children?
No.
Has your land ever been famished? True.
Listen, we're not in our land.
Have you ever been? Hey, real quick, hold on, True. Hold on. Hey, True. Just answer the. True. Just answer the question because it's my turn.
No.
Okay. Have you ever been cursed in your basket and in your store, True?
No.
All right. So, which curses are you under? Because if we're just cherry picking, everybody's life has something that sucks about it, right?
Of course. Can I read this again? Obviously, you didn't read this. Obviously, you didn't hear it. I mean, I think you're shutting down when I read the scripture. It says
now Zadok, you heard what I said to him, right?
No, I heard. I'm listening. The whole audience is listening.
About his own curses.
I'm telling you why not, though. Let's read the scripture again. I'm going to show you why not. It says, so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul, making their confession of sin and wickedness. This is why not, Trill. This is why not. It says, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gave them to their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee. So if the Most High forgives you, then you're not going to suffer from the curse. He says, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. So that's the way. Listen, this is, some of us are praying this prayer. That's why the Most High says he will have compassion on them, not me, not an individual. He's talking about the nation. So that's why they're having compassion.
The nation is comprised of individuals. But so you saying, real quick. Hey, so True, you still saying that you under the curses. All right, cool and dandy.
I said not.
Real quick, cool and dandy. I just asked you literally 3 or 4 curses, and all of the answers to what you just said was emphatically no.
And did I tell you why? Why not? Didn't I tell you why not?
No, wait, but we're talking about you. We're talking about you being under the curses, right?
I told you. I read the scripture. Why don't you read the scriptures?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I asked you the curses. Hey, real quick, I asked you the curses listed in Deuteronomy 28. You said no.
Understand what I'm saying? Because the truth is he's just ignoring it.
No. Hey, wait. Hold on. Hey, both of you brothers, hold on for a second. No, I think he understands what you're saying, True Israel. But it's like, are you missing his point? Because I haven't really, in my opinion at least, he made some clear points. He asked you, what curses are you under to say, I'm suffering the curses of Deuteronomy 28? He literally answered your question, and he's saying no. He's saying that our forefathers and mothers brought to this country. If you think they're Israelites, then maybe you can see how, okay, I can see what you're pointing to with them. And if you're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, he's asking you clearly for our generation, and you're a part of our generation. What are you pointing to say that we're under, that we're still suffering the curses? How come we're not free now? We're still in our enemy's land, but we're no longer their captives. That's his.
Okay,
that's what he's asking.
Prayer, yeah, I understand that.
Okay,
prayer, nothing.
You got it.
Most High will do that in His own good time. But let me show you what Daniel did. Didn't Daniel pray the same prayer?
Weren't the Israelites being ruled over with rigor by Babylon?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Wait, hold on. Hey, Ghost, let him. I want to hear this. Go ahead. Go ahead. True.
Yeah. So if I go to Daniel, I'm going to go to verse. We're going to go to chapter 9 because I know Trilla doesn't want to hear this. It says, I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, this is Daniel speaking. He said, "And I set my face unto the Lord God to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed unto the Lord my God and made my confession," the same confession that you will see in 1 Kings 8. He says, "I prayed unto the Lord my God and made my confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him, to them that keep his commandments. We have sinned." This is what they told him. This is what Solomon said when they confessed this prayer about confessing their sins. He says, "We have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgment." Now, listen, I'll let you guys read the rest of this, but this is what Daniel did. He prayed the same prayer that I prayed in the land of his enemies. And so the Most High had compassion on Daniel. Daniel rose up to be very high in the government of Nebuchadnezzar. Just like we have people rise up very high.
So
but
true.
You can't say Daniel wasn't in captivity.
So true. So true. Wait, hold on, Ghost. So your point is that if you start out the captivity, if we came here in captivity like the Israelites did, they went there in captivity, but the conditions they lived in, the freedoms they had to become wealthy and rich, to the point that even when the temple was rebuilt under the time of Cyrus, the majority of Israelites didn't go back physically because they were holding on to the generational wealth they created in Babylon. You're saying we're living similar to them, but they were still in captivity. So, and I understand that. So let me ask you this. When Cyrus gave the decree telling them, hey, the Babylonians are over, wasn't that saying they were free, and they're free, and them who freely chose to stay in Babylon just because they're in Babylon? Now, because you're pointing to Daniel, that's fair. Daniel was there under them auspices. But when the Israelites were let go, hold on, Ghost. When the Israelites were let go free under the order of Cyrus, hey man, y'all could go back home and build. That those who decided to stay in Babylon, are you saying they were still in captivity?
No. Because listen, they had a home to go back to.
And he just destroyed his own point.
My God.
Hold on, Ghost. I want him to answer.
The land to go back to. We don't have a land right now to go back to. That's the reason. We don't have that land on the modern day state of Israel is not our land.
So you're saying if we don't have a sovereign land we can go back and control, we're pretty much, in your book, still in captivity until a land is provided for us to have the choice to leave and go back and run.
Until the Most High gathers his people that you read it.
Okay.
That's a horrible. That's terrible because you saying that.
Terrible. Listen.
Hey, True. Hold on a second, brother. Hey,
the preterists do not write hearing this.
Hold on a second.
They know that dude ain't no damn preterist.
You don't want to hear it, True. Hey, mute up real quick, Zadok. Let me ask you this though.
Yeah, go ahead.
You saying that like you having your own land means you finna go back to that land and be a ruler yourself? Do you know that the rulership is given to the princes, the kings, and the judges and high priests? You wouldn't be a ruler in your own land. You understand this, correct?
Ridiculous. Listen, there's like
it's over fuck out, my man.
Land. You said anything about being a ruler.
All right.
In your mind,
you said having your own land.
Oh, this is good.
Hey, real quick. You said having your own land, right? So if you go buy 40 acres and get a mule, is that your land?
Listen, I'm talking about the nation of Israel. Listen, it's a tired statement, dude.
Bro,
It was tired the first time. Listen.
Okay, hey, hold on. Hey, bros. Hey, True Israel. I want you to go ahead and make a final statement and wrap it up. Because I'm about to approach 3 hours. I've been on. I done been up since like 6 a.m, so I'm tired. I know it's a lot of people tired, but I want to give you an opportunity to just finish your thought. Hey, Ghost, you already know what you said to it, and I'm hearing what he's saying to it. So I just want to give you a chance to wrap it up clean, True, so that I can move on, bro.
Okay, yeah, the point of the matter is this. High God has always saved Israel, and when he saved Israel, he gave them their own land. He put them in their own land. So if we believe, I don't know what Trail believes, but if we believe that we are Israelites, then the Most High has a pattern. He would always gather his people together and put them into their own land. Not one person who would put us in the land as a nation. And right now, we don't have that. So the Most High tells us in Ezekiel 36, 37, 34, I know the preterists don't like it, 45, 47, the Most High says he's going to put us in our own land. So until then, he gave us a preterists. He gave us a way to get compassion among our enemies. And I just read it to you. I read what Daniel did. I read what I think it was another king, Manasseh, said that same prayer, and he got compassion. He was restored. So that's the reason. So I'll land right there. But hey, Zayda,
okay.
I appreciate your.
Let the rest I pack them up.
Man, you can't declare victory.
Hey, bro, you already know how Ghost is, so you just got to take that. That's what comes with him. It's like James Brown going, like if you don't like hearing that from James Brown, just don't listen to his music. But if you gonna deal with Ghost, then you already know how Ghost gonna come at you, bro. He coming at you full steam ahead.
Hey, I know Ghost. Hey, I know TJ. When he destroyed Dre, I mean, I was on the side when he destroyed Dre in Isaiah 53. I agree with that. But now the preterists, they go too far.
This man is deaf. I told him 50 times I'm not a preterist.
But hey, Ghost, that's his passive aggressive way of coming at you. He just not like you. He know he keeps saying that damn thing on purpose, bro.
Curses. I just want to see the curses.
But hey,
hold on, Dre. Let me
wait, no. Hey, wait.
Curses. Was his answer no or yes?
Huh?
It was no.
To what? What was his answer? No to what, bro?
When I asked him them 4 curses he was under, right? He said
he said no. His answers was no.
He said no, right? So is he under the curse?
I told you why.
All right. Well, look. Hey, bros, I appreciate both of y'all, man. Yo, y'all brought substance to the platform tonight. I don't let people speak because I need to agree with them or disagree with them. It's about hearing. For those of you who may not understand yet, I like to hear people. Have you ever read a book of a religious system or dogma that you don't agree with, but you'll read the whole book of them explaining their premise because you really want to understand their methodology, so that if you don't agree, you can develop a methodology on how to counter it. I think that the patience needed is understood. And for some people, y'all ain't even on this type of time. Y'all probably don't care about this stuff. Like my brother Moses, he'd be like, man, look, man, I don't really care about debating with nobody. I'm like, cool, but I'm not in your same position. I got people who gonna come to me with questions all the time, and because of people who are in other places and platforms, I go to them places on purpose in order to have a discussion with these people, so that them babies in the audience who are, hey, I'm at a fork in the road. I could go either way. And y'all know why I know it's worth it, at least on my end. It's not everybody's mode. It's because of some of the people who disciple under me today, who were at a fork in the road. And when they ran into me, I was on somebody's platform doing all kind of wushu sword technique, beating guys up in love, but whooping them nonetheless. And all of a sudden I got an email, because I always give out my email address. Hey, bro, I was on Berean TV 2 nights ago, and I heard you give out your email address, and I wrote it down, and I'm reaching out to you. Hey, bro, I think you solid. The way you was answering them questions, it seemed like they couldn't really prove that you weren't on point. Hey, man, here's my phone number. I don't even know if you're going to see the email. You probably busy. But hey, would you get back at me if you got the time? Y'all, I done baptized some people who my relationship started out with them through an email because of a platform they heard me in running my mouth doing sword technique. So that's why for me, when everybody go fishing, it ain't one place to fish in your town, in your city, or your county. I'm fishing too. You just had a whole nother watering hole. But as long as you got something in the bucket, your technique and where you choose to fish and how you choose to fish, I ain't got no problem with it. But just understand, I was fishing, boss. So hey, for those watching, for those listening in through Clubhouse, I appreciate y'all. I ask that you would consider clicking that link that's pinned at the top of the room here in Clubhouse. That's the Bible Dojo house. That's my other house. This house is only for Friday nights. And the Bible Dojo is for any time I'm on during the week if I go live, but I usually go live on Sundays on this channel. So when y'all come to the Friday night, it'll always be an open discussion. If you come to the Bible Dojo on the Sunday night, I'm over there teaching. There is no discussion. You either just come in and listen to me break down a topic with scripture for an hour or two, and you leave with it and do with it what you want. Because my motto is this: for those of y'all who know me, you know, I don't speak to be agreed with. I speak to be heard. Agreement is subjective to your own perspective. And so, with that, I'm going to say good night to you. I hope you would join me this Sunday night at 9 p.m. EST in the Bible Dojo when we got a topic to work on. So, salute to y'all, those of you who came over. I appreciate y'all. Salute to my guy, Cool Man, who actually shut down his room and sent people over here to check it out. And if any of you came over here from Cool Man's room, I'm hoping and praying that you got some edification tonight. Whether you agree with me or not, that's not my concern. But you being edified is all that I'm hoping for. Even if I made even if I made an argument and you was like, oh, he made a bad argument, and you think you got points that could counter what I said, then you were edified because it still helped you. But if you agree with the points I made tonight, or anyone for that matter, then it edified you, and in some way it helped you as well. So hey, with that, y'all, it's about to be midnight. That's my 3 hours for the night. Bless you and your households. For all my Sabbath keepers, get some rest for your bodies as well. Shalom, shalom.